Chapter 89. Chapter 89. To refuse to accept fast, unbelievably fast. He had never seen such a sword technique before. It was so fast that Qin Laosi didn't even see how Xiao Han attacked. It was so fast that before Qin Yuhai could save Qin Daming, the sword had already ended. Qin Daming screamed like a pig being slaughtered as he flew out and landed at Qin Yuhai's feet. Only then did the two bloody ears fall to the ground from the air. I told you to leave, but you didn't. What's the use of keeping your ears if you don't understand human language? Xiao Han said coldly. Rumble. It was as if a bolt of lightning had rolled over everyone's heads. In front of Xiao Han, Qin Daming was so weak that he couldn't resist at all. Xiao Han's attack was too fast. Although no one saw it clearly, they could clearly see the strength behind it. Body Tempering Realm Stage 9. Moreover, he had already reached the limit of the 9th layer, and seemed to be able to break through to the element gathering tier at any moment. In the past, Xiao Han was at Body Tempering Stage 5. Now, he was at the peak of Body Tempering Stage 9. How could she be so fast? Qin Yu's performance was already very shocking. Xiao Han was even stronger than Qin Yu. She ate the energy-gathering pill. Qin Dapeng saw through it with a single glance. So what if you ate the energy-gathering pill? How despicable of you to sneak attack me! Qin Daming's hands were covered in blood as he clutched his head, unable to accept the reality in front of him. It doesn't matter if you took the pill or launched a sneak attack. I just want to tell you that I can't even do 1/10,000th of what Qin Hao can do. What right do you have to yell here? Don't be so arrogant in the East Courtyard. Qin Hao isn't afraid of you. He just wants to save your last bit of dignity. After Xiao Han finished speaking, he turned around and walked toward the main hall. Little bitch. I'll kill you. Qin Daming's eyes were bloodshot as he rushed towards Xiao Han. Qin Yu had also said those words earlier. Qin Daming was no match for Qin Yu. He couldn't compare to the 6 guards at the door. Now, even the adopted Xiao Han could teach Qin Daming a lesson. What kind of humiliation was this? Qin Hao, you coward! The old man has already asked me to represent our family at the annual meeting. Did you hear that? If you don't come out, I'll kill this little bitch. You're full of shit. Stubborn. Xiao Han turned around, his eyes filled with bone-chilling coldness. His hand once again gripped the hilt of his sword. How dare you! Qin Yuhai leaped forward. If he allowed Xiao Han to strike again, Qin Daming would definitely die. Little Han, you can't. Qin Laosi also stepped forward to stop him. Creak. At this moment, the door to the main hall opened. Qin Hao, dressed in a robe whiter than snow, walked out with light steps. As soon as he appeared, he immediately became the center of attention. Xiao Han, Qin Yu, Qin Laosi, Qin Yuhai, and even the guards of the East Courtyard all stop and look at Qin Hao. Qin Hao's eyes were deep and his long hair fluttered in the wind. He was emitting an invisible aura. It was not because he was strong, nor was it because he was pressuring others to the point of suffocation. This aura was very ethereal, but it was also very close. It made people feel as if they were facing a celestial being, making them unconsciously feel ashamed. Even Xiao Han's aura was insignificant in front of Qin Hao. Big Brother's strength has improved again. Qin Yu thought, his eyes filled with worship. Qin Hao. Qin Daming roared through his teeth. He was the only one who did not feel Qin Hao's aura because he was about to go crazy. Grandfather said that you would be allowed to attend the annual meeting, right? Qin Hao asked indifferently. That's right. Other than me, who else in the Qin family has the right to attend the annual meeting? Today, I'm going to tell you that I, Qin Daming, am stronger than you. I'm the number 1 in the family. Qin Daming was immersed in his own wishful thinking. Shameless boasting. Xiao Han said disdainfully. If it wasn't for Dan Xian who gave you the energy-gathering pill, who do you think you are? Qin Dapeng stood up and said. Who do you think you are? body tempering stage 3? Qin Yu blocked Qin Dapeng's way. Their noses were almost touching, tit for tat. Qin Hao shook his head. This family was really interesting. At the back of the crowd, Qin Hao saw Ah San and Ah Si. These two were the servants of the ancestral hall. He pointed at them and said, Ah San, Ah Si, did grandfather allow Qin Daming to attend the annual meeting? Do you still need to ask? It's me, you can give up. Qin Daming's tone was firm. I asked Ah San and Ah Si, why did you stupidly come out? Are you Ah Wu, Ah Lu, or Ada and Ah Er? Qin Hao frowned. Impudent. Qin Yu Hai's face turned green with anger. Cats and dogs were the names of servants. How could he, Daming's son, be compared to a servant? Second brother, there's no need to be angry. Ah San and Ah Si are also here. What's the harm in letting them say it? Qin Laosi was very confident in Qin Hao. He did not believe that Qin Shilong would allow Qin Daming to attend the annual meeting. You two dogs, hurry up and get over here. Didn't the old man say, call the young master to attend the annual meeting? Repeat it and shout it loudly. Qin Daming ran to the back, grabbed Ah San and threw him to the ground. Young masters, in fact, the old ancestors' original words were, I told you to shout it loudly and let the whole world know. Do you not fucking understand? Qin Daming angrily kicked Ah San's nose. The force of the kick was so heavy that Ah San's nose was crooked. Qin Daming only wanted to prove one thing. He was stronger than Qin Hao. The old ancestors' original words were, call your young master Hao here, it's young master Hao. Qin Daming, you bastard, have you given up yet? You can't compare to young master you can't compare to young Miss Xiaohan, and you can't even compare to a single hair on young master Hao's head. You're living in a fantasy all day long. You think you're the best in the Qin family and only know how to vent your anger on us servants. Servants aren't humans. Go eat shit. Ah Si couldn't stand Qin Daming beating Ah San anymore. He ran out and shouted. Just as Qin Daming thought, he wailed and shouted to let the whole world know. Are you satisfied now? Are you excited? Are you happy now? Gotcha. These words were like a thunderbolt that struck Qin Daming's mind. He trained in the Fengli Temple for more than 10 years and reached Tempered Body Stage 7. He thought that when he returned to Akita Town, he would become a hero. When he faced Qin Yu, he couldn't block a single palm strike. When he faced Xiaohan, he couldn't block a single sword strike. He said he would stand up for Qin Dapeng, make Qin Yuhai proud, and make Qin Hao lose everything. He was so serious. In the end, it was just a joke. He was just asking to be humiliated. Qin Hao, I'll take your life. Qin Daming went completely berserk. He rushed towards Qin Hao as if his life depended on it. He poured all his strength into one punch and punched towards Qin Hao. 1. A layer of green light enveloped Qin Hao's body. Qin Daming felt as if he had hit an iron wall. He didn't even have the chance to get close to Qin Hao. He was knocked to the ground by Qin Hao's energy. Because he rushed too fiercely, he received an even greater backlash. When he fell to the ground, the sound of bones breaking could be heard. Blood even came out of his 7 orifices. Qi gathering stage. Qin Dapeng shouted in horror. Qin Yuhai was completely dumbfounded. Second Qi gathering stage. No, not second Qi gathering stage, it's only the first Qi gathering stage. What's the point of continuing? Qin Hao said calmly, dispersing his energy. Pooh! Qin Daming raised his head and spat out a fountain of blood. Even if Qin Hao was only in the first Qi gathering stage, he was still far stronger than him. I don't accept this. You don't accept this? Qin Hao sneered. I'll give you one more chance. If the young one can't do it, then the old one will. Come on, second uncle. I know you've been waiting for this day for a long time. You can't wait to skin me alive. Qin Hao pointed at Qin Yuhai. Regardless of life or death, if you defeat me, The right to enter the annual meeting will be yours. The position of junior clan leader will be yours, and this courtyard will also be yours. I, Qin Hao, will be kicked out of the Qin family. How you can't? Qin Laosi was shocked. Chapter 90. Fast and furious. Judging from the aura just now, Qin Hao might not be an ordinary first-layer martial artist, but he was definitely not Qin Yuhai's opponent. Qin Yuhai was a third layer of element gathering tier. You said it yourself? Qin Yuhai was instantly energized. Even if Qin Hao broke through to element gathering tier, he was still no match for him. Moreover, he was only a first-layer martial artist. The hatred of his son, De Pering, being crippled, the pain of robbing the medicine store, Daming's son was chased out of Fengli Temple. Qin Yuhai's mind was strongly stimulated by all these events. At this moment, it was as if he wanted to vent all the resentment he had suppressed in his heart. As long as he defeated Qin Hao, his dignity, status, power, and wealth would all be returned to him. Qin Yuhai even had the urge to kill Qin Hao. If he killed him, Qin Shilong would not be able to pursue the matter. Because this was a promise made by Qin Hao himself. He had dug his own grave. Qin Yuhai felt that he had profited greatly. Father, kill him, quickly kill him. Qin Daming's face was filled with madness. The humiliation Qin Hao brought him was indescribable. He wanted to see his enemy die in his father's hands with his own eyes. This was the only thing that kept Qin Daming alive. Fine, I'll send you to the afterlife and fulfill your wish of reuniting with the dead Qin Dingtian. Qin Yuhai walked towards Qin Hao fiercely. Qin Laosi hurriedly stepped forward to stop him. Qin Hao gave Qin Laosi a look that said, "No need." In an instant, Qin Laosi was caught between a rock and a hard place. His heart was beating so fast that it almost jumped to his throat. However, he decided that if Qin Hao was in danger, he would definitely save him even if it meant that he was shameless. Compared to Qin Laosi, Xiao Han was very calm. In her heart, Qin Hao could not possibly lose. Even if it was a first-layer martial artist against a third-layer martial artist. I was wondering why it was so noisy. So there's a big show to watch. At this moment, a sharp voice sounded. Qin Lao San heard the commotion in the east courtyard and came in to take a look. Qin Daming's face was covered in blood. Qin Hao and Qin Yuhai were at each other's throat. Even a fool could see that the two of them were about to launch a life-and-death battle. I say, Hao your body is precious. Don't get bitten by an old mad dog. Qin Lao San immediately spoke for Qin Hao. Qin Hao had been appointed as the young patriarch by Qin Shilong. In the future, he would succeed the position of patriarch. In the Qin clan, his words carried enormous weight. Not to mention, Qin Laosan's son had broken through to the fifth layer of body-tempering realm after drinking the Luoyang liquid. He was grateful to Qin Hao's 8 generations of ancestors. Perhaps in the future, he would be able to take advantage of Qin Hao. He had to speak up for Qin Hao, even if what he said was a lie. Third brother, Qin Yuhai couldn't help but vomit blood. Qin Laosan, this fence-sitter, was very harsh with his words. Come, third uncle. Qin Yu hurriedly pulled third old Qin to the side and briefly told him what had happened. Third elder Qin was stunned. He rolled his eyes and no longer interfered. In fact, he was too lazy to care about the life and death of others. Whether Qin Hao or Qin Yuhai died, he wouldn't lose a piece of flesh. At most, he would shed 2 drops of fake tears. Second uncle, I respect you as an elder. You go first. Qin Hao made a please gesture. I'll take your life with one palm. Qin Yuhai rushed forward. His palm was swift and fierce. He used a high-level Huang-level palm technique. He wasn't qualified to use the Qin family's minute collapsing fist. This palm strike was very fast, very fierce, and very impressive. It was as if the palm technique was a mountain and Qin Hao was an egg. With one palm strike, the egg wouldn't be left. The crowd immediately cried out in alarm. Qin Laosan was also prepared to save Qin Yu. However, this palm strike that seemed sure to hit Qin Hao was dodged just as it was about to hit him. Everyone couldn't help but let out a sigh of relief. Take another palm strike from me. Qin Yuhai didn't hit Qin Yu, so he sent out a second palm strike with even more strength. Qin Hao had a smile on his face. He was very relaxed. Coincidentally, he dodged the attack at the critical moment. Again, Qin Yuhai sent out a third palm strike. The result was the same. Qin Hao always dodged at the critical moment. It gave people the feeling that Qin Hao could be beaten to death at any time, but he always survived. It was too exciting. Fourth palm strike, fifth palm strike, sixth palm strike. Qin Yuhai sent out a dozen palm strikes at Qin Hao's face, but he didn't even touch a single hair. He was so tired that he was panting like a dog. On the other hand, Qin Hao was very relaxed. Hao's speed and judgment are amazing. Qin Laosan noticed that every time Qin Hao dodged, there would be green energy flowing under his feet. This was a set of high-level footwork. From the current situation, Qin Yuhai couldn't catch up to Qin Hao's speed. The difference between their movement techniques was too great. Moreover, Qin Hao didn't seem to be fighting, but was using Qin Yuhai to practice. Cowardly rat, you only know how to dodge. What's the use of hiding? Do you dare to take a palm strike from me? Qin Yuhai couldn't touch Qin Hao, so he gnashed his teeth in anger. Fine, I'll stand here and don't move. Hit me as hard as you can. The moment Qin Hao said this, it gave everyone a fright. Especially Qin Laosan, who used to have the best relationship with Qin Yuhai. He knew very well what kind of palm strike Qin Yuhai was practicing. It was called death-crushing palm. As the name implied, it was to crush someone to death with a single palm strike. Qin Hao stood there and let Qin Yuhai hit him? That was no different from seeking death. In reality, Qin Hao had already made a judgment. When facing an opponent in the third layer of element gathering tier with his pinnacle level water wind steps, his opponent wouldn't be able to touch him at all. They were on completely different levels. Even if Qin Yuhai doubled his speed, he still wouldn't be able to catch up to Qin Hao's footwork. In terms of movement techniques, Qin Hao had a complete victory over someone in the third layer of element gathering tier. So next, he wanted to test his strength. He wanted to see who was stronger between someone in the first layer of element gathering tier and someone in the third layer of element gathering tier. You're courting death. Qin Yuhai mercilessly sent a palm strike towards Qin Hao's face. Qin Laosan's eyes narrowed and he was about to attack. At this moment, Qin Hao also attacked. He sent a palm strike forward. Boom! The two palms collided. The stone slabs on the ground began to crack. The servants of the east courtyard covered their eyes. In their opinion, Qin Hao must have been sent flying. Moreover, he must have been vomiting blood and looked extremely miserable. Indeed, a figure was sent flying. But it wasn't Qin Hao. It was Qin Yuhai. What? This is impossible. Qin Dapeng and Qin Daming stared blankly at the fat figure in the air. That was their father, and he was still vomiting blood. Pung! There was a loud sound. Qin Yuhai fell to the ground. When he landed, his face was filled with disbelief. The indestructible reincarnation technique is indeed a god-tier technique. The body refining technique has increased my strength by more than 3 times. Qin Hao was also slightly surprised. He clenched his fist and felt the domineering strength. After completing the 9th layer of body refining tier, he felt that his strength had increased by 3 times. But now, with one palm strike, Qin Yuhai couldn't resist at all. It was simply a crushing defeat. A god-tier technique was indeed powerful. It was far from being comparable to a heaven-tier technique like water wind step. I'll kill you! Qin Yuhai let out an angry roar after recovering from his shock. At this moment, he understood the humiliation that Qin Daming had suffered. He was sent flying by Qin Hao. A third layer of element gathering tier was sent flying by a first layer of element gathering tier. He couldn't accept it. He couldn't tolerate it. He squeezed out all the origin chi in his body, not holding back a single bit. He wanted to use his powerful origin chi to kill Qin Hao in one strike. He used a killing move. A green light was sent out by Qin Yuhai. With a whistling sound, it slashed towards Qin Hao's face. This was the origin chi attack of a martial artist in the element gathering tier. Stop! Qin Laosi couldn't hold back anymore and immediately went to save Qin Hao. The difference between a martial artist in the first layer of element gathering tier and a martial artist in the third layer of element gathering tier was like heaven and earth. He thought that Qin Hao would definitely die. However, Qin Hao also moved. Before Qin Laosi could make a move, he stabbed forward with a finger. Chapter 91. Murderous intent filled the sky. The cyan light pierced through and shot toward Qin Yuhai. However, under the powerful pressure of the light, the green light gradually slowed down. When it was less than a meter away from Qin Yuhai, it turned into green smoke and disappeared. Qin Hao's first layer origin chi was still a bit weak. The green light disappeared, but Qin Hao's finger did not slow down. He actually used his physical strength to withstand the light and pierce Qin Yuhai's Adam's apple. Halfway through, his finger was ravaged and was dripping with blood. Qin Hao used his physical strength to withstand the attack of a third-layer origin gathering tier martial artist. You lost, Qin Hao said coldly. Impossible, how could this be? I can't accept this. Qin Yuhai's throat was filled with coldness as he let out a heart-wrenching scream. You can't accept this? Qin Hao snorted. In a flash, he snatched the sword from Xiao Han's hand and swung it out. Shwa! The green light slashed out from the sword, creating an 8-meter-long crack in the ground. It was so fierce that it made people speechless. If I had used a sword just now, you would have been dead. Qin Hao coldly threw the sword at Qin Yuhai's feet. In other words, he did not use his full strength in the battle with Qin Yuhai. He was best at swords. Moreover, he did not use the purple meteorite sword. Father lost. Qin Daming's face was pale, and his heart fell into a bottomless abyss. At this moment, he felt as if a mountain was pressing down on his chest. It was very stifling, and there was even a surge of blood rushing to his heart. Second brother, enough is enough. You are not Hao Er's match. Moreover, Asi clearly said that father wanted Hao Er to participate in the banquet. If you continue to pester him, you will only be humiliating yourselves. Qin Laosi said. He was sweating in his heart. Qin Hao's performance was really too exciting. I don't want to humiliate you. I just want to tell everyone that the current me is no longer the Qin Hao who was cooped up in his room all day long and called trash by others. I am no longer the Qin Hao who was framed and forced to exchange a young girl's body for medicine in exchange for my survival. I'm not going to sit and wait to be bullied. I'm not going to let anyone take away Qin Hao from my courtyard. In the past, when my father was alive, no one could touch me. Even if my father is gone, you can't touch me, Qin Hao, and you can't afford to. So, know your place. This is my final warning. After Qin Hao finished his domineering words, he took Xiao Han's hand and walked towards the room. Please leave. The 6 bodyguards ordered the guests to leave on behalf of Qin Hao. Now, Qin Yuhai no longer had the face to stay here. If it were me, I would have committed suicide. You always boast about your 2 sons as if they are better than anything else. In the end, they are just jumping clowns. You have lost all your face. Qin Laosen used his specialty to provoke him with sarcastic remarks. I puff. After Qin Daming heard this, the blood in his heart surged even faster, and he couldn't help but spit it out. He fell to the ground and died of anger on the spot. He was once a disciple of Fengli Temple and the pride of Qin Manor. He returned home full of confidence and boasted countless times. Only now did he know that in front of Qin Hao, he was nothing but a clown. Especially when even Qin Yuhai was defeated by Qin Hao, Qin Daming's only hope was shattered by reality. Big brother, big brother! Qin Dapeng burst into tears. Daming, my son, why did it turn out like this? Why? Qin Yuhai had only himself to blame for the death of his own son. Ai. Qin Laosan sighed, full of bitterness. He took Qin Yu's hand and left the east courtyard. I only said a few words, but you can't take it anymore. Second brother, quickly prepare a coffin. Qin Laosan hurriedly threw out these words and hurriedly left this place. His heart was also shocked. Even Qin Yuhai was no match for Qin Hao. It seems that no one can stop the rise of Qin Hao. After everyone left, only the crying Qin Yuhai and Qin Dapeng were left in the courtyard. All of this was their own doing, and they brought it upon themselves. Big brother is dead, what should we do, father? Qin Dapeng's heart sank and fear flashed through his eyes. But Qin Yuhai slapped Qin Dapeng's face. It's all because of you, you good-for-nothing. If you had fought back and defeated Qin Hao in the ancestral hall, your big brother wouldn't have come back. He wouldn't have lost his status as a disciple of Fengli Temple, and he wouldn't have died in the hands of that little bastard. It's all because of you. After saying this, he cried again, My daming son! It's me who killed Big Brother, it's me? Qin Dapeng stupidly muttered to himself. The expression on his face changed back and forth. One moment it was pain, the next it was self-blame, and finally it became more and more ruthless. No, it's not me, it's Qin Hao, Qin Laosan, Qin Shilong. I want them to pay the price, I want the whole Qin family to be buried with my big brother. Qin Dapeng's eyes were bloodshot, and he clenched the rat poison in his hand. This was the treasure that Qin Daming stuffed into his hand before he died. 3 days later, the annual meeting was held as scheduled. Qin Hao represented the Qin family in the competition. The Qin family hastily buried Qin Daming, so hastily that they didn't even hold a proper funeral. Actually, Qin Shilong was afraid of embarrassing himself. That day, he had asked Ah San and Ah Si to call Qin Hao to the ancestral hall to test his ability. Now, there was no need to test him. Even Qin Yuhai, who was in the third layer of element gathering tier, had lost to Qin Hao. Through the competition with Qin Yuhai, Qin Hao had a better understanding of his own condition. In terms of speed, a normal martial artist in the third layer of element gathering tier was far from his match. In terms of strength, Qin Hao had a complete victory. In terms of defense, Qin Hao's physical defense could withstand a martial artist in the third layer of element gathering tier head-on. His only weakness at the moment was his primal qi. The origin qi of a martial artist in the first layer of element gathering tier was still too weak, even with the support of the art of condensing qi. On the day of the annual meeting, it was especially dry and cold. Small ice crystals floated in the air. In previous years, the town would be quite lively at this time. After all, the competition between the 3 clans was quite interesting. Today, however, it was very different. The whole of Akita town was filled with a somber aura. It was as if even the heavens could feel this somber aura. The gloomy sky was unusually oppressive. This phenomenon had been going on for many days. The townspeople didn't dare to leave their houses. Many unfamiliar faces appeared in the town. These were faces that they had never seen before. The streets and alleys were filled with fierce-looking men. These men were filled with murderous intent. They were obviously a group of people who lived on the edge of a knife and were no different from bandits. So many ill-intentioned people had gathered in the town. No one knew what they were up to. For safety reasons, the townspeople didn't dare to leave their houses. The scene of the annual meeting was especially quiet. In today's annual meeting, the Qin family will definitely lose. The annual meeting was held in the center of the town. A large arena was set up. Zhuo Wentian said as he sat in an armchair below the arena. Isn't that so? The weather isn't good either. It's as if people are going to die. Zhuang Maoxian sneered from next door. And many people will die. Don't you think so, Lord Mayor? Zhuo Wentian put on a fake smile and patted the shoulder of the old man beside him. Yes, yes. The old man was so scared that he was trembling like an old hen. Behind the old man there was a large group of old men of similar age. They were all respected elders in the town. It was obvious that these people didn't come willingly. Behind each of them stood a powerful man. They were forced to come. Chapter 92. Chapter 92. A cripple. Why aren't Qin Shilong, that old fart, and Qin How, that little bastard, here yet? Zhuang Maoxian was getting impatient. It was the same during the last hunt. The old man waited for 4 hours in the morning. His legs were numb from standing. Speaking of Qin Hao, Zhuo Wentian was furious. Are they afraid of us? Zhuang Maoxian snorted loudly and deliberately raised his voice, as if he wanted everyone in the world to hear him. He sneered at the mayor and said, Mayor, what do you think? In old man's opinion, the Qin family is a bunch of cowardly rats who can't even withstand a single blow. They're afraid of the two of you and most likely won't show up. The old man hurriedly put on a smiling face. His smile was uglier than his crying face. He had to smile. Ha ha ha! Zhuo Wentian and Zhuang Maoxian slapped their thighs in joy. Who's farting in broad daylight? It's even louder than thunder. So it's Uncle Zhuang and Uncle Zhuo. The two of you are really good at farting. He was stunned. An extremely sarcastic voice sounded. In the distance, a group of people slowly walked over from the street. The leader was Qin Shilong. Beside him were Qin Hao and Qin Laosi. Lu Yu and Qin Yuhai followed behind. The Qin family turned out in full force. It was obvious that the third son of the Qin family was the one who had shouted those sarcastic words. His foul mouth was well known throughout town. Although old third Qin was a troublemaker in the family, his character was not good. Once the interests of the family were involved, he would protect them more than anyone else. Everything he had was given to him by the Qin family. If the Qin family collapsed, third Qin's good days would come to an end. He understood this very well. Looks like the two leaders haven't taught them enough of a lesson. Qin Hao walked to the venue. The lesson he was talking about was the ugly incident of Dan Xian scaring Zhuo Wentian and Zhuang Maoxian to the point of crawling on the ground. Who are you trying to fool? Dan Xian is just a nominal elder of Fengli Temple. What can he do to me? Zhuang Maoxian was so angry that he blew his beard and glared at her. Not to mention a trash nominal elder, even if the Heavenly King came, he wouldn't be able to change the situation of your loss. Zhuo Wentian said angrily. Qin Hao became vigilant. Old man Zhuo and old man Zhuang must have eaten expired eggplants, daring to openly despise Dan Xian. Let's cut the crap. We're not here to chat today. We'll decide the winner in 3 rounds. Let's start. Qin Shilong sat below the stage, facing Zhuo Wentian and Zhuang Maoxian. When enemies meet, their eyes would naturally turn red. Today, no one could stop the Qin family from winning. Especially in the 3rd round, Qin Shilong had absolute confidence in Qin Hao. After all, even a martial artist in the 3rd layer of element gathering tier was no match for Qin Hao. Humph. Let's see how long you can be so mighty. Zhuo Wentian pointed at the mayor beside him and said, Today, with the mayor and all the blind dates as witnesses, the annual meeting of the 3 families of Akita Town has officially begun. We are very just, very fair, we are merciful. Cut the crap. Hey San, get up there. Zhuang Maoxian slapped the chair and shouted. Hey San was the demon captain of the Zhuang family. Kiki. Hey San laughed strangely, took off his pitch-black armor, and prepared to go up the stage. Uncle Hey, you have to beat them to death. Only by chopping the people of the Qin family to death can I vent my anger. Below the stage, Zhuang Heba also arrived. He was paralyzed on a bed and was carried over. He looked at Qin Hao with an indescribable hatred. Young master, just watch. He-san slapped his chest and promised. He stepped on the ground, and his body rose vertically, landing firmly on the stage. The moment he made his move, countless people cheered. Especially the demon captain of the Zhuang family, who pointed at He-san on the stage and praised him. He-san is so cool. His posture is so flirtatious. In my opinion, there's no need for the Zhuang family to make a move. That's right. Those useless soldiers of the Qin family are just trash that can be killed with a single strike. All hail He-san. He-san on the stage was elated when he was faced with a barrage of bootlickers below the stage. Wang Kai, go. Zhuo Wentian did not want to be left behind when the Zhuang family made their move. He waved his hand, and a burly man beside him took off his armor as well. The burly man was burly and muscular. He snorted. He did not seem to use his primordial qi, but he grabbed a heavy sword that was as wide as a palm. His body shot up like a human cannonball and landed on the stage as well. This time, the surrounding people were dumbfounded. He jumped onto the stage that was 5 meters high with only the strength of his body. He did not even take a breath, and he even carried such a heavy sword. Wang Kai's strength was obviously stronger than He-san. Brother Liu, be careful. Qin Laosi could not help but feel nervous. Liu Yu was going to fight. In this battle, he would be facing 2 opponents at the same time. Don't worry, Liu Yu said lightly. His eyes were burning with a raging fire, and his body was filled with confidence. Qin Hao did not say a word about this, because Liu Yu was going to win. Liu Yu did not use his primordial qi to jump onto the stage like He-san. He did not jump up like a cannonball like Wang Kai. Instead, he carried a broken axe that was full of holes and walked up the stone steps under the disdainful gaze of the crowd. He walked slowly, but every step was solid. If someone observed carefully, they would notice that every step Liu Yu took created a crack on the stone step. The people of the Qin clan are really useless. Compared to He-san and Wang Kai, they are far behind. Look at what he is holding. It must be an axe that he picked up from the street. Ha! Liu Yu? He-san was stunned when he saw Liu Yu on the stage. Wang Kai was also startled. They thought that no one from the Qin family would dare to fight Liu Yu. Even if someone wanted to fight, it would not be Liu Yu, because Liu Yu was already crippled. You are surprised to see me here, right? Liu Yu said in a low voice. Ha ha ha. He-san laughed. That's right, that's right. I ate a big monster, and now I am a big cripple. Get out of here, or else you will die. Wang Kai said coldly and expressionlessly. In fact, I want to thank you for not killing me. Liu Yu did not retreat, and his eyes gradually turned red. He-san was stunned, his face was cold. So you already knew. That's right. That night it was me and Wang Kai who attacked you. You want revenge, don't you? But what can you do to me? You are a cripple. I don't want to say the same thing twice. Get out of here, or else you will die. Wang Kai was still expressionless, but the heavy sword in his hand was raised. Master and Madam's deep hatred, my 11 silver-armored cavalry brothers died with their eyes open, and the torture and humiliation I suffered in the past 3 years. Every moment I want to kill the evil thief. Today I have waited for so long. Liu Yu let out a blood-sobbing roar and firmly grasped the broken axe on his shoulder. Overconfident, He-san's eyes were full of disdain, the zamadeo in his hand swung and chopped. In his view, this incomparably easy chop would end the first round, and Liu Yu would die without a doubt, because Liu Yu was a useless cripple. Clang! A heavy blow. He-san's chop was blocked by Liu Yu. To be precise, it was Liu Yu's axe that knocked He-san's chop away. Suddenly, He-san's palm was numb, and he could not help but step back a few steps, almost sitting on the stage. His face changed. Chapter 93. It's too early to be happy. What's going on? Zhuang Maoxian felt that something was amiss. Ha ha ha! Wang Kai pointed at Black 3 and laughed. Brother Black, have you been playing with too many women lately? You can't even take care of a cripple. If you can't take care of him, I'll do it. Don't embarrass yourself here. Tui. My hand slipped. Black 3 spat and snarled. Illusion. It must be an illusion. Lu Yu's meridians were broken, there was no way he could recover his strength. He was definitely a cripple. Another slash of the saber was sent out. This time, he used 90% of his strength. This time, he wanted to cut Lu Yu and his axe in half. Clang. Another heavy blow. This time there were strong sparks. Lu Yu attacked decisively, taking Black 3's attack head-on. With this attack, Black 3 felt as if a mountain was pressing down on him. He was humiliated and fell on his butt, blood flowing from the corner of his mouth. First layer of element gathering tear. Black 3 was shocked, as if he had been struck by lightning. Lu Yu was not a cripple. Not only was he not a cripple, but he was also in the first layer of element gathering tier. This is impossible. This is impossible. Zhuang Maoxian lost his composure. He was the one who broke Lu Yu's meridians with his palm. How could he be wrong? Zhuo Wentian frowned as he looked at Zhuang Maoxian. He thought this old man had held back. Now, it seemed that he had not. The Qin family must have used some kind of miracle medicine to reconnect Lu Yu's broken meridians. It must be Dan Xian. Zhuo Wentian gritted his teeth and cursed Dan Xian's ancestors in his heart. He shouted at the stage, first layer of element gathering tier, so what? He's just an ant. Let's work together and cripple him. Don't waste time. Brother Lu, be careful. Qin Lao Si reminded him. The Zhuang and Zhuo families were indeed working together. Is this a foul? Is this AF King foul? Qin Lao San was so anxious that he jumped around and cursed loudly. In the past, the three clans kept each other in check and were very careful. Now, Zhuo Wentian was asking his guards to help Black 3. It was clearly against the rules. The rules passed down by the ancestors only state that one person wins. It doesn't say who should team up with whom, so this isn't a violation of the rules. Under the pressure of Zhuo Wentian's gaze, the town elder said without blushing. In response, Qin Hao only snorted coldly. It didn't matter if the enemy worked together or not. However, the battle in the ring did not stop because of this. The battle had reached its climax. Lu Yu used to be defeated by Black 3. Now he was thrown to the ground. Black 3 felt extremely humiliated. With a roar, without waiting for Wang Kai to join hands, the origin energy in his body surged crazily. The origin energy wrapped around the Zamadeo as he slashed at Lu Yu once more. The entire saber had turned a light green. Black 3's attack had obviously reached 100% power. Break! Lu Yu simply swung his axe. Voila! When the Zamadeo, which was wrapped in Yuan Qi, collided with the rotten axe, the Yuan Qi on it immediately dissipated. The long saber also shattered to pieces. I'll tell you the truth, I'm not in the first layer of element gathering tier, but the second layer. After Lu Yu finished speaking, he swung his axe. This can't be, Black 3 was so scared that he even forgot to dodge. At this moment, an axe flashed in front of his eyes. Amid the screams of the crowd, a line of blood appeared. Black 3 watched as his body was separated from his body. Plop! The sound of falling to the ground rang out. Black 3 was cut into two halves by the axe. Half of his body was left in the ring, while the other half rolled down, directly under Zhuang Maoxian's feet. A pair of eyes stared at Zhuang Maoxian, eyes full of horror. Black 3 is dead. He was killed in one hit. The members of the Zhuang family were all petrified. They could not believe what they saw. Kill him for me. Zhuang Maoxian's face was filled with anger. Black 3 had been with him for many years and had made great contributions. However, he was cut into pieces right under his nose. Everything happened too quickly. He pointed at Zhuo Wentian's bodyguard and ordered him to avenge Black 3. Kill. Zhuo Wentian also gave the order. The people of the Qin family could not be left alive. Die. Wang Kai wielded his heavy sword and attacked Lu Yu. He did not dare to hold back his strength at the second layer of element gathering tier. After all, Black 3 was cut into pieces by Lu Yu. That was the best outcome. Moreover, he used a high-level Huang-level sword technique right from the start. Divine Dog 18 slashes. Each slash was fiercer than the last, and each slash was crazier than the last. Coupled with Wang Kai's muscular body, the heavy sword danced in his hand like a tiger. Lu Yu could only defend himself. He had no chance to counterattack. He kept retreating and was about to fall off the ring. Brother Lu, you're in danger. Qin Laosi wiped his sweat. Zhuo Wentian's bodyguard was not just for show. After all, Wang Kai was personally trained by Zhuo Wentian. He was not someone Black 3 could compare to. As a former opponent, Lu Yu knew the power of the Divine Dog 18 slashes. On the surface, it looked like a high-level Huang-level sword technique. However, Wang Kai's sword was too heavy and powerful. When combined, the 18 slashes were comparable to a dark-level technique. Whirlwind slash. Lu Yu also became ruthless. He could not retreat anymore. The last slash of Wang Kai's 18 slashes was the strongest attack. Immediately, Lu Yu used his killer move. The dark-level axe technique that Qin Hao prepared for him. 1. A whirlwind covered the broken axe. With the support of Lu Yu's energy, the whirlwind split into countless wind blades and slashed at Wang Kai's body. At this moment, Wang Kai's final attack was released. With a loud rumble, the arena seemed like it was going to collapse because of the two of them, causing dust to fill the air. Gradually, the wind stopped and the dust dissipated. Slowly, a standing figure appeared. This figure was tall and sturdy. Although there were countless wounds on his body, it was obvious that it was Wang Kai. Lu Yu was kneeling at the edge of the ring. His axe was thrown to the side and blood flowed down his shoulder. Ha ha! Our Zhuo family won. Zhuo Wentian raised his head and laughed. Wang Kai did not disappoint him. After winning the first match, he must be rewarded greatly. Is that so? Qin Hao sneered. Just as he finished laughing, plop! Wang Kai's standing figure fell to the ground. After falling to the ground, people realized that there was a hole in his chest. His internal organs were all destroyed by the wind blade. Before dying, Wang Kai's heart flashed a string of words. Such a sharp broken axe, such a sharp axe technique. Lu Yu pressed on his knees and slowly stood up. Although it was difficult for him to stand up, his knees were dripping with blood. But he won. Master, madam, brothers, I have taken revenge for you. Lu Yu was sobbing uncontrollably, tears streaming down his face. He had finally killed He San and Wang Kai. All of this was because of his young master. Qin Hao had helped him regain his dignity. Thank you, young master, for your grace. Lu Yu knelt on the stage and kowtowed to Qin Hao. This is the demon captain that the Zhuang family is so proud of? This is the personal bodyguard of Qiu Tian Town's #1 expert? He can't even withstand a single blow. The worry on Qin Shilong's face disappeared. Just now, he was really nervous. Originally, he did not agree with Qin Hao sending Lu Yu for the first match. Lu Yu being crippled was a fact, but he did not expect. Chapter 94. Chapter 94. Here comes the old man. In fact, the reason why he had agreed to let Lu Yu fight was because Qin Hao had brought up Dan Xian, saying that Dan Xian had given him a secret formula that could cure Lu Yu. What are you waiting for? Hurry up and announce the Qin family's victory. Qin Laosan burst into laughter. Zhuang Maoxian and Zhuo Wentian's faces trembled in anger. The death of He San and Wang Kai was undoubtedly cutting off one of their powerful arms. Suppressing his anger, Zhuo Wentian looked coldly at the mayor. The first round was clearly a draw, with both sides heavily injured. That's right, that's right. Just now, Lu Yu couldn't take it anymore and knelt down. Wang Kai was standing. Although they don't know why Wang Kai suddenly fainted and gave Lu Yu a chance, Old Man and the villagers think that this match is a draw. The mayor hurriedly said. Qin Hao frowned when he heard that. Old Third Qin was furious. What did you say? Are you deaf? The mayor and the villagers said it was a tie. How dare you look down on the entire town? A middle-aged man with a donkey face stood beside Zhuang Heba and shouted. His name is Zhuang Bai. It was Zhuang Ji the Eight's father. Am I deaf? I think you're the one who's blind. Which adulterous couple ate an expired cucumber and created a thing like you that's full of shit? I'm not convinced. Qin Laosan yelled for the Qin family. The mayor was obviously in cahoots with the Zhuo and Zhuang families. Bastard, Zhuang Bai almost went crazy from Qin Laosan's scolding. He couldn't help but want to attack. Third brother Qin's mouth is too foul. A draw is a draw. It doesn't matter. Qin Hao waved his hand, signaling Lu Yu to come down. He had never expected to win the first match. Even if it was a draw, Lu Yu had killed He San and Wang Kai. This was an indisputable fact. Everyone says that Mayor Wang is an upright person. I didn't expect him to be a wretch who bullies the weak and fears the strong. This is unfair. Qin Laosi snorted. Suddenly, the town elder was so ashamed that he wanted to find a hole to hide in. He cried bitterly in his heart. The old man had no choice. If he did not speak up for Zhuo Wentian and Zhuang Maoxian, his entire family would be killed. Let's continue. The second round is alchemy, right? Qin Shilong said with a sullen face, looking very unwilling. I'm very puzzled. Of all the things you can compete in, you just have to compete in alchemy with our Qin family. My nephew Hao's 6 fine liquid is no joke. Does your family have an alchemist? Old Third Qin said disdainfully. Of course. Zhuang Maoxian waved his hand. A figure stepped out from behind him. It was a middle-aged man without arms. It's you? Qin Hao was stunned. This person was actually Wang Guden. Yes, it's me. Are you surprised? Wang Guden said, gnashing his teeth. He looked at Qin Hao with eyes full of hatred. It was Qin Hao who cut off his arms and severed his family jewels. He swore that he would come back for revenge. And now he really came back. No wonder Uncle Zhuang dares to compete in alchemy. It turns out he took in a lowly dog. However, it's wishful thinking to rely on this person to win the second round. Qin Hao didn't care about Wang Guden at all. He didn't have the right to compete with Qin Hao. Of course he won't be able to win the second round with this good-for-nothing slave. So, old man is here. Stunned, an extremely unfriendly voice sounded from behind Wang Guden. It was an old man with a face full of arrogance. The appearance of this old man caused a wave of sighs. He even glared at Qin Hao with a pair of toad-like eyes. Master, it's this guy who cut off your precious disciple's arms and cut my crotch with a sword. You must avenge your disciple. Wang Guden prostrated himself on the ground, tears streaming down his face. Master Peng. Old Fourth Qin stood up from his chair with a thud. The person Wang Guden bowed to was the outer elder of the alchemy sect, Pang Danning. Pang Danning was an expert in the third layer of element gathering tier. His alchemy skills weren't easy to deal with. Is this a F***king violation of the rules? We agreed on a competition between the 3 clans. You shamelessly asked for outside help. Old Third Qin expressed his dissatisfaction. Qin Shilong's face also darkened. Even an elder of the alchemy sect came out. Who said Master Peng is outside help? Yesterday, he became the head elder of the Zhuang clan. He's a member of the Zhuang clan and is on the genealogy. Why can't we send him out? Zhuang Maoxian turned to look at the mayor. Mayor, is this a violation of the rules? No, of course not. How can it be a violation of the rules when it's on the genealogy? Cold sweat started to form on the mayor's forehead. He couldn't afford to offend Master Pang. After seeing the old man, "You little brat, you must be scared out of your wits, right? Old man wants to see what you're made of." Master Pang pointed at Qin Hao, his words full of contempt. After that, he pulled out a medicine pot from behind his butt and said, "This medicine has been refined by old man. Let's compete." As soon as he said that, everyone was shocked. Both sides should be brewing the medicine on the spot. However, Master Pang had refined the medicine in advance. In other words, no one knew if he was the one who refined the medicine. "You're cheating!" Old Third Qin shouted. "Who do you think you are? How dare you slander the old man? Could it be that your Qin family is afraid? Don't worry, I can wait for you to finish refining the medicine." "Ha ha!" Master Pang laughed proudly and said, "However, no matter how hard you try, you'll lose." Old Fourth Qin could not help but feel nervous. This Master Pang obviously came prepared. "I told you to call Dan Xian but you didn't." Sigh. Old Third Qin sighed at Qin Hao. He was not confident and thought that he would lose. "Mother Fu!" Qin Hao shouted in a deep voice. "Yes, young master." Mother Fu, who was dressed in black, stood out from the Qin family with a medicine pot in her hand. Originally, Qin Hao wanted Mother Fu to brew the medicine on the spot. However, his plan could not keep up with the changes. Master Pang took out the medicine as soon as he appeared. Fortunately, Qin Hao was also prepared. Yesterday, he had brewed a portion of medicine in advance. He had brewed it himself. His purpose was to let Mother Fu master the technique. He did not expect that the medicine he brewed in advance would come in handy. A servant. Master Pang's face turned ugly when he saw Mother Fu. Although he had the title of the Zhuang clan's Grand Elder above his head, his actual identity was still an outer sect elder of the alchemy sect. He was incomparably noble. The Qin family sent an old maid to compete with him. "How dare you humiliate me like this? You're looking down on the Dan sect." Master Pang was furious. "So what? You took out the medicine as soon as you appeared. Who knows if you refined it or not?" To be honest, Qin Hao was not sure either. If the medicine in Master Pang's hand was refined by the Dan sect's sect leader, he would be in deep trouble. Nonsense. This medicine was definitely refined by Old Man himself. Master Pang retorted immediately. However, his face turned red when he spoke. He really didn't refine this medicine himself. Fortunately, it was not refined by the Dan sect's sect leader. Instead, he collaborated with an inner elder to study it. The two of them studied it for more than a month and their brains were about to explode. They racked their brains just to compete with the Qin family's Luoyang medicine. Heaven did not disappoint those who worked hard. They finally succeeded, although they wasted a lot of precious herbs. Chapter 95. Chapter 95. I'd like to add another round. "How do we compete?" Qin Hao asked. "It's very simple. Get two people to drink the medicine and punch each other to prove whose medicine is more effective," Master Pang said. The person who drank the medicine had to be from his own family, and the goodies should not flow into other people's fields. Furthermore, he was a powerless mortal. This was the only way to show the potency of the medicine. As he spoke, Zhuang Maoxian had already sent out a sturdy servant. This servant was tall and strong, and had a strong appearance. "Wait!" Qin Hao interrupted. "Didn't you say that it's a three-way competition? You're sending one person. Could it be that Senior Zhua is giving up?" "That's right, Old Man forfeited and let the Zhuang family compete with you." Zhuo Wentian looked like he was in cahoots with Zhuang Maoxian. Qin Hao stopped talking and looked at Mother Blessing. Mama Blessing walked forward with the medicine pot. She wanted to drink Qin Hao's medicine and punch that strong servant. Qin Shilong fidgeted uneasily in his chair. He looked at Qin Hao with a reproachful gaze. If you want to send someone, you should at least send a young man with a strong physique. Send out an old woman, over 60 years old. Even if Mother Blessing drank the potion, it was impossible for her to beat the strong servants of the Zhuang family. Ha ha! Everyone, look! The Qin family let that old woman out. You're courting death. Xiqian, here's your chance to shine. Some of the servants of the Zhuang family pointed to the robust servant on the stage. Actually, even if I didn't drink Master Pang's divine medicine, I could still kill that ugly old hag with a single punch. However, Master Pang's efforts must not be wasted. The strong servant named Xiqian bowed and spoke to Master Pang, his face full of flattery. To be able to drink the old man's cooking liquid is the blessing of your 8 lifetimes, you lowly slave. Master Pang raised his head high and handed the medicine bottle to Xiqian. Xiyu was wild with joy. He picked up the cup and drank it. After drinking it, he still wasn't satisfied. He licked it with his tongue, unwilling to waste a single drop. In an instant, the medicine reacted in his body. A few clouds of white smoke suddenly emerged from the top of Si Huan's head. 1 lap, 2 laps, 3 lap. From a powerless slave to a third-layer body-tempering realm cultivator, Master Pang's medicine was indeed extraordinary. In an instant, Xiqian's aura changed. His eyes were sharp, and his whole body was filled with confidence. Compared to the vulgar servants behind him, he clearly stood out from the crowd. My thoughts have soared to the heavens. In the future, we can only look up to him. I'm so lucky to be able to drink Master Pang's cooking liquid. Ha ha ha! My son is also an elemental. An old servant laughed excitedly. His name was Jianlin, and he was Xiqian's father. The people of the Zhuang family drank the liquid, and Mother Blessing followed closely behind. Her gaze was firm. She had incomparable confidence in Qin Hao. Gulp! As the medicinal liquid slid into her abdomen, a mysterious power awoke within Mother Blessing's body. This mysterious power instantly perfected her aging body and drove her qi and blood to circulate. Her meridians became stronger, her qi and blood became more abundant, and her muscles even propped up Mother Blessing's clothes. Several clouds of white smoke also emerged from the top of Mother Blessing's head. 1 round, 2 rounds, 3 rounds. It was exactly the same as Xiqian's. This indicated that Qin Hao's concoction and Master Pang's concoction were evenly matched. Master Pang was stunned. He had secretly studied Qin Hao's 6 fine liquid. The medicinal effect was indeed extraordinary, but it should not allow one to break through instantly. The 6 fine liquid should take effect slowly, and the main point was to slowly transform one's body. The bottle in front of him was obviously different from the others. In fact, the bottle that Qin Hao brewed was not the 6 fine liquid, but the 7 treasures liquid. You do have some skills, but that's all. In the next second, this old man will make you cry, but you won't even be able to cry. Master Pang gave Xiqian a look. He signaled for her to punch that old woman. Mother Blessing. Xiao Han was a little nervous. Even though they were both third-layer body-tempering realm cultivators, Mother Blessing was an old woman, while Xiqian was strong and vigorous. Don't worry. Qin Hao held Xiao Han's hand with a relaxed smile. Xiao Han was even more confused. Mother Blessing was the most loyal old servant in the East Courtyard. I should believe in Qin Hao. Xiao Han took a deep breath to calm himself down. On the other side, Xiqian walked to Mother Blessing. Old woman, I'll give you a chance. Disappear from my sight immediately, or I'll send you to the west in advance. Young man, let me give you a piece of advice. Hurry up and do business with your father. Don't stay in the Zhuang family anymore. You'll die. Mother Blessing reminded him. You're full of nonsense. Go and ride a crane to the west. Xiqian completely ignored the principle of prioritizing the elderly and punched Mother Blessing. He knew very well that whoever made the first move would win. In a situation where the two of them were at the same level, Mother Blessing would definitely be injured if she took the first punch. At that time, she would not have the strength to fight Si Qian. It was obvious that Si Qian was very smart. Bang! The punch landed squarely on Mother Blessing's chest. Mother Blessing's wrinkled face tightened. She took a step back, but only one step. She covered her chest and said, "Young man, your punch is so powerful that it made my heart beat. If it hit someone else, they might die." What? Si Qian was shocked. A full blow only made the old woman's heart beat a little? That was impossible. Absolutely impossible. She should be spurting blood. She's just putting on an act. In fact, she has already suffered internal injuries. In a moment, she will bleed to death. Master Pang on the side said solemnly, "This was a great comfort to see you." It also confirmed his idea of taking a punch from Mother Blessing. He felt that Mother Blessing must have no strength to hit him. She would not be injured even if she took a punch. "Young man, I'll give you one more chance. Are you going to get out or not?" Mother Blessing became serious. "Ha ha! Hurry up and hit me. Don't waste time." Si Qian patted his chest hard, indicating that Mother Blessing should hit him to her heart's content. "You're really not going to get out? What a joke. You want me to get out? Who do you think you are?" Bang! There was an earth-shattering sound. Mother Blessing gathered her strength and punched Si Qian in the face. Before Si Qian could finish his words, he was sent flying. His mouth was crooked, and his head hit the wall not far away, causing the wall to collapse. My eyes must be playing tricks on me. Si Qian was sent flying. "My son." Lin Pa burst into tears and threw himself towards the collapsed courtyard wall. He only had one son. Although his family was poor, he wanted to see him alive and dead. After this punch, the outcome was clear. Si Qian's punch only made Mother Blessing take a step back. Mother Blessing punched him and sent him flying 10 meters away. How is this possible? Both of them are body tempering stage 3, but the difference is too big. I don't believe it. Master Pang jumped up in exasperation. He had worked hard to develop that medicine. He had tested it, and it was no worse than 6 fine liquid. But the strength of Mother Blessing's punch was comparable to body tempering stage 5. Something was obviously wrong. The kid from the Qin family must have cheated. Maybe he added some kind of stimulant to the medicine. "Master, let's compete again. Let's compete with your alchemy skills. Let's make him blind." Wang Guden and Qin Hao had a grudge against each other. He wouldn't be satisfied if he didn't cripple Qin Hao. "That's right. Old man wants to compete with you again. Alchemy." Chapter 96. Undeserved Reputation. We agreed on 3 rounds to decide the winner. We won the first round, but you said it was a draw. We won the second round, but you insisted on adding another round. This is against the rules. Qin Laosi said angrily. He had gone too far. Rules? The old man is the rule. The Dan sect is the rule. Master Pang's attitude was unyielding. He had been slapped in the face by Qin Hao, so he had to get it back. I suspect that the medicine was not made by the Qin family. You have to compete with my master in public so that everyone can see the truth. This is reasonable. You don't dare to compete with my master, so you obviously have a guilty conscience. Wang Guden said shamelessly. He was sure that the medicine was not made by Qin Hao. In fact, it was completely reasonable for Mother Fu to show such a shocking side. She had been brewing medicine for Qin Hao. Every day, she smelled the fragrance of the medicine. Over time, a large amount of medicine had accumulated in her body. Today, the medicine was stimulated. Mother Fu's body tempering stage 3 was comparable to stage 5. What's more, she had just drunk the more powerful 7 Treasures liquid. Master Pang did not know that Qin Hao had the 7 Treasures liquid, so he miscalculated. Qin Hao was considering whether to compete with Master Pang again. At this time, a figure rushed into the hall. "Wang Guden, Don't be stubborn and continue to endanger the Qin family. You are no match for young Master Qin Hao. I don't despise you for being a useless person, nor do I despise you for being a eunuch. Now that I am pregnant with your child, why don't we leave Akita town and live in seclusion in the mountains? We can raise the child together. Young Master Hao is a good man. He gave us money. The figure who rushed in was Qin Yu's maid, Lu Shui. Lu Shui was kneeling on the ground, pulling Wang Gudan's clothes. She was holding banknotes in one hand, begging him bitterly. She was pregnant with Wang Gudan's child, hoping to move him. However, Wang Gudan was cold-blooded and heartless. He was not moved at all. You're dreaming if you want me to leave this beautiful world and go to the deep mountains with you. I haven't enjoyed enough luck with women, and I haven't earned enough money yet. You lowly servant girl, you're full of nonsense. How could I, a dignified disciple of the pill sect, have a child with a lowly servant like you? You're publicly humiliating my reputation. Go to hell. Wang Gudan viciously kicked Lu Shui. The kick landed squarely on his stomach. Wang Gudan was an 8th-stage body-tempering realm cultivator. With this kick, 1 corpse and 2 lives were lost. The pitiful Lu Shui was so tolerant of him that she was even willing to give up her youth to live with Wang Gudan. He ended up dying a tragic death. Lu Shui. If Qin Yu had not been pulled back by Qin Hao, he would have charged at Wang Gudan with all his might. Your Qin family sent a servant girl to mess things up and try to humiliate my reputation. You truly deserve to die. No one knew whose bastard the child in her belly was, so it served him right to die. But I'll take the money. Servants, throw this servant girl's body into the mountains and feed it to the dogs. Wang Gudan was truly worse than a dog or a pig. He snatched the banknotes from Lu Shui's hand and ordered the servants to throw the body into the wilderness. Stop! Qin Laosi could no longer bear it. Lu Shui was a servant girl of the northern courtyard. Although she had committed unforgivable crimes, she had accompanied Qin Yu all these years and taken care of his daily life. She was a member of the Qin family. Even if she's dead, she's still a ghost of the Qin family. You can't humiliate her body. Servants, bury her properly. Qin Laosi ordered the Qin family's guards to bring the body back. Wang Gudan, I'll definitely kill you. Qin Yu suppressed his grief and glared at Wang Gudan with bloodshot eyes. Kill me? With my master here, who dares to touch a single hair on my head? You don't even dare to compete with me, and you still dare to boast that you'll kill me? Your Qin family is a bunch of cowards. Wang Gudan said arrogantly. Fine, I'll compete with you. Originally, Qin Hao did not want to compete in the second round. If he won the second round, Master Pang would lose even more face. Qin Hao did not want to anger Master Pang. However, Wang Gudan had completely angered Qin Hao. He decided. The second round was decided. Not only do I want to compete, but I also want to make a bet with you. Qin Hao stared coldly at Master Pang. What do you want to bet? Master Pang's interest was piqued. If I lose, you can do whatever you want with me. If I win, I'll take this bastard's life. Qin Hao pointed at Wang Gudan. Wang Gudan shuddered and was about to disagree. However, Master Pang had already nodded. Fine. In fact, Master Pang had come to Akita town to take Qin Hao's life. Wang Gudan was so scared that his face turned pale. If he lost, he would lose his life. He wiped the sweat off his face and comforted himself. His master was a grade 1 alchemist who was in the 3rd layer of element gathering tier. The kid from the Qin family was only in the 1st layer of element gathering tier. He was no match for his master. The chance of him winning was almost 0. Thinking of this, Wang Gudan regained his composure and sneered. If you win, I'll call you father 3 times. Unfortunately, you're destined to lose. What can you do to me? Ha ha. How are you confident? Although Qin Shilong was worried, he could not bear it any longer. I'll do my best. Qin Hao walked towards the arena. Master Peng flicked his sleeves and stepped up as well. The competition between the two alchemists made the audience excited. This round was destined to be exciting. After entering the arena, Master Peng ordered the servants of the Zhuang family to bring up a table. On the table, there were prepared medicinal herbs. You only made 2 medicinal herbs with that trashy technique of yours, and you think you're so good. You want to win against Old Man? Not everyone can be an alchemist. Today, I'm going to show you my unique skills and show you how powerful I am. After saying this, Master Peng started to show off in front of Qin Hao. He took out his cauldron. It was a bronze cauldron about the size of copper. With an arrogant expression, he threw the bronze cauldron into the air and released his origin qi to keep the bronze cauldron floating. Master Peng threw out a few more strands of origin qi and opened the lid of the cauldron. Medicinal herbs flew in one after another. Peng! The lid of the cauldron fell. 2 balls of green flame lit up in his palms. Master Peng placed his palms under the cauldron. The flames were sometimes big and sometimes small, showing off his skills. Immediately, a wave of flattery came from below. Master Peng deserves his reputation. Old Man can't compare to his fire control skills. Zhuang Maoxian was the first to flatter. His words were very respectful. Although he was stronger than Master Peng, his status was not as noble as his master. An alchemist not only needs the ability to control fire, but also thousands of medicinal herbs. There's also those mysterious formulas. Old Man's scalp tingled just thinking about it. Qin Hao, that little bastard, is really overestimating himself. I bet he can't even tell the difference between medicinal herbs. Ha ha. Zhuo Wentian pointed at Qin Hao and laughed. Because Qin Hao did not make a move, it gave people a feeling that he did not know how to do it. In fact, Qin Hao did not make a move because he was observing Master Peng's technique. But the more he watched, the more bored he became. 6 words flashed in his mind. Alchemy is like dog shit. Losing interest in watching, Qin Hao decisively made his move. His fingers flashed, and he took out the small cauldron that Dan Xian gave him. Spatial equipment? Master Peng was shocked. His breathing quickened and he was shocked. Chapter 97. Chapter 97. The Lost Art of Tempering. Moreover, it seemed that the furnace was not ordinary either. Its material was excellent, comparable to a middle-grade refined weapon. The greed in Master Peng's eyes was self-evident. However, he was very clear that this spatial Dharma artifact was destined to have no fate with him. There was an even more powerful figure behind him. Even so, Master Peng pointed at the cauldron and said, "If I win, the cauldron is Old Man's. Let's see if you have the ability to get it." Qin Hao rolled up his sleeves, sweeping up the medicinal herbs one after another, flying into the cauldron. Just like Master Peng, the green flame in Qin Hao's hand was also ignited. The flame in his hand was sometimes big and sometimes small. He even controlled the flame and aimed it at Master Peng's old face to form 2 words. Idiot! Master Peng was so angry that he almost jumped up. He was so agitated that he didn't control the bronze tripod above his head properly. The tripod shook for a while. Not good. Grandmaster Peng immediately focused on controlling the furnace. However, he sneered in his heart, "Just you wait, kid from the Qin family. Not only will you lose your life, but the furnace and spatial artifact will also belong to our pill sect. Today we really made a big profit." Everyone, quickly look. Qin Hao condensed essence fire. When did he break through to the element gathering tier? His progress is too fast. So what? From what I can see, his technique is crude, and his flames are sometimes big and sometimes small. He's completely imitating Master Peng. How shameless! The people from the Zhuo and Zhuang families pointed at Qin Hao on the stage. Qin Shilong was so nervous that his forehead was sweating. As time passed, The flame in Qin Hao's hand gradually weakened. Clearly, his yuan qi was insufficient. Master Peng's flames were still as strong as ever. Hao is still too young. Qin Shilong sighed. Now that things have come to this, the honor and disgrace of the Qin family is in Hao-er's hands. We can only trust him, Qin Laosi said. Without Dan Xian's support, he'll immediately become a useless piece of trash. I think he'll lose this time. Qin Yuhai looked at Qin Hao with eyes full of malice. Today is the day of Qin Hao's death. Come to comfort the heroic spirit of the daimyo. It smells so good. Everyone, guess what pill Master Peng refined? It's most likely a minor origin pill, and a high-grade one at that. Nonsense. The herbs that Grandmaster Peng put in are obviously not the formula for the minor origin pill. The minor origin pill is so trashy, you are insulting Grandmaster Peng. Someone who knew the good said. Are your dog eyes blind? What my master refined is a body-tempering pill. Moreover, it must be a body-tempering pill of the highest quality. Wang Guden raised his big nose. He was Master Peng's disciple, so he naturally knew what kind of pill he was refining. Brother Guden is really amazing. A great teacher produces a great student. I wonder who will be lucky enough to eat this quenching body pill. I'm willing to spend 500 silver taels to buy this pill. I'll spend 1,000 taels, 1,500 taels. Being an alchemist was indeed the most profitable profession in the divine wilderness. Immediately there was a rush to snatch the pills. The price continued to soar until it reached 5,000 taels. A pill refined by an elder of the pill sect was worth this price. Father, Zhuang Heba lay paralyzed on the bed, his eyes filled with longing. It was obvious that he also wanted to eat the peak-grade body-tempering pill. Zhuang Bai shook his head helplessly. Zhuang Heba's meridians were destroyed and his fingers were broken. Eating the body-tempering pill would be useless, and all of this was thanks to Qin Hao. I will make that little bastard pay a painful price. Zhuang Bai gritted his teeth and said. On the stage, the first pill had been refined. Master Peng did not disappoint and was the first to succeed. He put down the bronze cauldron and wiped the smelly sweat off his face. He was not in a hurry to open the cauldron. Instead, he looked at Qin Hao mockingly. This was because Qin Hao had not stopped and was still struggling to support the fire in his hand. The fire was so weak that it was almost insignificant. There was only a small flame left, and it seemed like it would be extinguished by a casual breath. I think you should stop holding on. If the qi in your dantian is too exhausted, you will die. Ha! Master Peng laughed. Qin Hao could not be bothered with him, and continued to refine the pill. He was very focused. Stubborn. Spit. Master Peng disregarded his status and spat on the ground. His face was filled with a look of disdain that said, "This child is unteachable. If you really can't do it, just give up." Qin Shilong could not bear it. At this moment, Qin Hao's face was pale and his body was trembling. "Grandpa, don't worry." Qin Hao freed his right hand. His interspatial ring flashed and 6 minor origin pills appeared in his palm. He threw them into his mouth. The minor origin pills were given by Qin Shilong. They had the effect of strengthening one's muscles and recovering qi. However, the amount of qi recovered was limited and could not be compared to a major origin pill. But it was enough. Look, Qin Hao swallowed the pills. I knew he couldn't do it. He was just trying to be brave. He swallowed 6 pills. If he refined a trash, it would be a huge loss. There was a lot of discussion below the stage. None of them were optimistic about Qin Hao. You should just give up. It's useless to swallow a major origin pill. You are no match for the old man. Master Peng mocked. Please shut your dog mouth. Qin Hao did not even look at him. You. Master Peng snorted. The pill old man refined is a body-tempering pill. One pill is enough to raise a cultivator below the 9th tier of body tempering realm by 2 levels. Moreover, the pill Old Man refined must be of the highest quality. It can raise a cultivator by at least 3 levels. No matter how hard you work, it will be a waste. You are in the 3rd tier of element gathering realm. How dare you say you refined a body tempering pill? Do you know what pill I refined? Qin Hao asked. Master Peng's heart skipped a beat. He was so focused on the interspatial ring that he forgot what medicinal ingredients Qin Hao put in. Now that he thought about it, Master Peng's mind shook. He said in disbelief, "Could it be you refined a marrow-cleansing pill?" Without waiting for Qin Hao to answer, Master Peng shook his head. Impossible. Without the ability of the 3rd tier of element gathering realm, the success rate of refining a marrow-cleansing pill is less than 30%. You are only in the 1st tier of element gathering realm. There is no way you can refine a marrow-cleansing pill. You will know soon whether it is a marrow-cleansing pill or not. Finishing speaking, Qin Hao flipped his hand and pressed the small pill furnace down. The last wisp of essence fire in his palm directly entered the pill furnace from above. The pill was complete. Fire tempering technique. Boom! Master Peng felt as if a bolt of lightning had struck him. Others might not know what it meant to inject fire into the cauldron, but Master Peng knew very well. This was a superb alchemy technique. It was the long-lost fire tempering technique. Tempering seemed easy. All you had to do was inject your fire into the cauldron. But if you try, I'll blast you to death, you bastard. If you were not an expert in controlling fire, you would not dare to try it. At best, it would damage the quality of the pill. At worst, the cauldron would explode and kill you. Of course, if the fire tempering technique was successful, the success rate of refining the pill would increase by 20%. The quality of the pill would also increase accordingly. This was the power of the fire tempering technique. He did not expect Qin Hao to have mastered the fire tempering technique. He was only in the 1st tier of element gathering realm, a newly advanced alchemist at such a young age. How could he be so powerful? Master Peng's heart twitched violently. He almost had the urge to withdraw from the competition. With the fire tempering technique, Qin Hao could be considered to have won. In the entire Heaven's Wall city, even the sect leader of the alchemy sect had not mastered the fire tempering technique. Chapter 98. Supreme Grade Marrow Cleansing Pill. Master Peng, open the cauldron. I can't wait to buy this pill. I can't wait to see your amazing alchemy skills too. Open it quickly and let us see it. Both sets of pills were completed. Everyone asked Master Peng to open the cauldron. However, no one cared what kind of pill Qin Hao was refining. Alright, Old Man will open the cauldron and let you guys have a taste of my essence. Master Peng couldn't back down. He gathered his courage and opened the cauldron. He prayed in his heart that Qin Hao's pill would not succeed. After opening the cauldron, Master Peng took out a white pill. The moment the pill came into contact with the air, it shone brightly and turned into a golden pill in the blink of an eye. Look, Master Peng's egg changed color. A golden body tempering pill must be of the highest quality. Master Peng is too amazing. Sure enough, everyone ate a mouthful of saliva and began to flatter Master Peng indiscriminately. There was no trace of happiness on Master Peng's face. He even looked bitter. This pill was not ideal. I thought you really had the ability to refine a supreme grade pill. I didn't expect it to be of the highest quality. Qin Hao felt ashamed for Master Peng. The platinum body tempering pill was of the highest quality, but the gold one was not. The body tempering pill was only of the lowest quality. It was not of the highest quality. Master Peng refined a high-quality body tempering pill at the 3rd layer of element gathering tier. It's all your fault. Master Peng was furious. Qin Hao purposely showed his spatial ring to distract him. The cauldron shook for a moment. It must be so. That's why the body-tempering pill was not of the highest quality. Even if it's a high-quality body-tempering pill, Old Man has succeeded. It's enough to raise any cultivator below the 9th layer of body-tempering tier by 2 levels. You trash of the first layer of element-gathering tier dared to challenge the marrow-cleansing pill. You must have been refined into ashes. Master Pang could only hope that Qin Hao would fail. We'll know when we open it. I don't think we need to. That kid can't compare to Master Pang. No, we must open it. Open it for Old Man right now. Zhuang Maoxian shouted as he slapped the chair. If Qin Hao didn't open his furnace, how could he announce his loss? Open the furnace for the Old Man, otherwise you lose, Zhuo Wentian said. Qin Shilong and Qin Lao Si were extremely nervous. I'll open it. Qin Hao opened the furnace and poured the dan on the table. At first glance, it caused everyone to laugh wildly. Master Pang was also stunned for a moment. Then, he hugged his stomach and laughed until tears almost came out of his eyes. This was because the pill that Qin Hao had poured out was clearly a failed product. It was black and swarthy. Ha ha! Old Man is dying of laughter. Bullshit marrow cleansing pill and bullshit flame tempering technique. In the end, he failed to refine the pill and even swallowed 6 small elemental elixirs to replenish his vitality. Everyone with the surname Qin, look at this useless thing from your clan. Ha ha ha, is that so? Qin Hao snorted. Crack. A crack appeared on the black baptizing marrow pill. The jujube-sized baptizing marrow pill immediately peeled off a layer of its skin. Suddenly, a white pill was revealed. Puh! Master Pang felt a slap on his old face. Qin Hao's baptizing marrow pill was a success. This is impossible. A mere first layer of element gathering tier can refine a low-grade baptizing marrow pill. Master Pang rubbed his eyes forcefully. When he looked again, the baptizing marrow pill was still white. Qin Hao really succeeded. Open your dog eyes and look carefully, Qin Hao continued. As soon as he finished speaking, crack, the white pill cracked again and turned red. A medium-grade baptizing marrow pill. Master Pang was thunderstruck. This was unbelievable. A medium-grade baptizing marrow pill could only be refined by someone above the 4th layer of element gathering tier. However, Qin Hao, who was only in the 1st layer of element gathering tier, did it. Look again, Qin Hao said again. Crack. A crack appeared on the red pill again. A golden light flashed and the red pill turned into a golden pill. A high-grade baptizing marrow pill. Master Pang's eyes widened. He clutched his chest and almost couldn't breathe. Look again. Qin Hao pointed at the baptizing marrow pill. Crack. The crack appeared again. The golden color of the baptizing marrow pill turned into a platinum color. Boom. Master Pang staggered backward as if struck by lightning. He almost spat out a mouthful of blood. He pointed at the platinum color baptizing marrow pill and stammered, top grade baptizing marrow pill. Qin Hao shook his head. You're an elder of a sect. You must have pulled some strings. As soon as he finished speaking, crack, the platinum color baptizing marrow pill cracked again. This was also the last time. A purple light flashed. This purple light was abnormally strong, and it surrounded the entire arena. It was as if the entire arena was covered in a layer of purple. Puff! Master Pang finally couldn't help but spit out a mouthful of blood. It was a spectacular sight. This purple baptizing marrow pill was unheard of. He had never seen it before. However, according to the Alchemist's Handbook, this was a top-grade baptizing marrow pill. There was only one person in the world who could refine this pill. He was the Emperor of Daqin in the East Continent 600 years ago, the strongest person in the world, Dendi. He was the first person to refine a top-grade baptizing marrow pill. In fact, it wasn't just the baptizing marrow pill. Only the fallen Dendi had the ability to refine this pill. After Dendi's death, no one else had been able to refine this pill. However, the legendary marrow-cleansing pill was right in front of his eyes. It was actually refined by a brat who was still wet behind the ears. In an instant, the sound of something hitting Master Pang echoed in everyone's heart. It was as if everyone could feel that Master Pang had suffered 10,000 points of damage. Qin Shilong couldn't help but raise his head and cry. Qin Laosi was so moved that he cried silently. Xiao Han and Qin Yu's faces were full of glory. Zhuang Maoxian and Zhuo Wentian's hearts fell into an ice cellar. As for Wang Guden, he was so scared that he turned pale. Because he was dead meat. The fact that Qin Hao had refined a peerless-grade marrow-cleansing pill also indicated that he had completely defeated Grandmaster Pang. "Master, save me! Save me! It's too late." Qin Hao didn't give Master Pang a chance to attack. He rushed down the stage and kicked Wang Guden in the mouth, sending him flying towards the Qin family. Wang Guden landed right in front of Lu Shue's corpse and kowtowed heavily on the ground. "Who dares to touch my disciple?" Master Pang flew out. "I dare." Qin Laosi shouted and blocked Master Pang's path. Qin Laosi and Master Pang were both at the third layer of element gathering tier. "Stop! How dare you touch a member of the dance sect? You must be tired of living." Zhuang Maoxian and Zhuo Wentian attacked at the same time. At the same time, Qin Shilong and Qin Laosi also attacked and stopped the two. "Kowtow!" Qin Hao coldly walked in front of Wang Guden. Father, my father, I beg you to let me go. Just treat me like a useless fart. My big brother wants you to kowtow." Qin Yu stepped on Wang Guden's head and pressed his head to the ground. The stone floor was smashed and blood was dripping. "When you humiliated my family, did you think this day would come? When you humiliated my brother, did you think this day would come? When you killed Lu Shui and forced her to poison you, did you think of retribution? You've lost your mind. You even killed your own unborn child. Have you ever thought of the wrath of the heavens?" Chapter 99. Chapter 99. Maternal Granddaughter. I was wrong. I'm worse than a pig or a dog. I've lost my mind. I'm not a good person. I shouldn't have made an enemy of the Qin family. Master, save me. Please save your precious disciple. Wang Guden begged Master Pang for help. "Go to hell and apologize to Lu Shui." Qin Yu's palm presses down on Wang Guden's head. With the power of body tempering stage 8 and the profound level palm technique, Qin Yu smashes the top of Wang Guden's head. Wang Guden's cries came to an abrupt end. He was like a crushed toad lying on the ground, dead in front of Lu Shui. "Don't do stupid things in your next life." Qin Yu's eyes were slightly red. He swore that he would personally kill Wang Guden to avenge Lu Shui. Qin Hao helped him achieve his wish. "You dare to kill my disciple?" Master Pang couldn't believe it. The Qin family had really made a move. The next moment, however, he was filled with rage. Wang Guden was actually his lackey. He was in charge of collecting protection fees from the outer sect disciples and then giving them to Master Pang. Now that his lackey was dead, Grandmaster Pang's source of income was cut off. Why not? Today, I want to tell you that no matter which clan, sect you are, if you dare to touch a single member of the Qin family, even if it's a servant girl or a servant, I will kill you. Qin Hao said domineeringly. The guards and servants of the Qin family couldn't help but feel their blood boil. This was how the head of the Qin family should behave. This was the Qin family that was worth their efforts. She wasn't like Daming Qin, who only knew how to bully servants and humiliate maids. Young master. Many old servants were moved to tears. Well said, the men of the Qin family should be like this. Qin Shilong was full of praise. Good, good, good. I'll remember this grudge. I hope you'll still have the same guts and courage later. Master Pang gritted his teeth in anger. He turned around and walked to the back. He had lost this round and lost all his face. Not only was his reputation ruined, but he also lost the life of one of his lackeys. Towards this, Zhuang Maoxian and Zhuo Wentian did not dare to make a sound, nor did they dare to show the slightest bit of dissatisfaction. They couldn't afford to offend Master Pang, but they could offend Qin Hao. Pointing at the marrow-cleansing pill on the stage, Zhuang Maoxian said greedily, "The herbs for this pill are provided by my Zhuang family, so it belongs to my Zhuang family. Furthermore, since the herbs were provided by our Zhuang family, I think the second round is a draw." After saying that, he even threatened the mayor with a cold look. What a load of nonsense! You must have forced the herbs from our Qin family's medicine shop. Qin Hao didn't give the mayor a chance to speak. Qin Hao was still able to tell if the medicinal herbs were his own. Moreover, Lu Yu had just told Qin Hao in private that the herbs were indeed taken away from the Qin family's medicine store by the Zhuang family using the competition as an excuse. You see, the mayor was caught in a dilemma. In the second round, Qin Hao won twice in a row. He won cleanly and beautifully. His victory was too obvious, and there was no excuse for it. The annual meeting of the three families is a sacred event. What's wrong with taking some of your herbs? I'm just giving face to the Qin family, Zhuang Maoxian said shamelessly. He pointed at the marrow-cleansing pill again. "Old man, use 100 taels of silver to buy it." When he said this, it was as if he had already given Qin Hao a great gift. Why is the marrow-cleansing pill called marrow-cleansing pill a marrow-cleansing pill? Because there's only one of it in the world. 100 taels of silver is too much. I think even 10,000 taels of silver is not enough. I'm willing to buy this pill for 10,000 taels of silver. There was no need for Qin Hao to say anything. This time, there were many people who stood up for Qin Hao. "I'm sorry, this pill. I'm not selling it." Qin Hao waved his sleeve and a gust of wind blew. The marrow-cleansing pill fell into Xiao Han's hand. Xiao Han and Qin Hao had a tacit understanding. They swallowed the pill. A huge amount of medicinal energy filled every part of their bodies. A dazzling purple light enveloped Xiao Han's body, making her look like a purple goddess. Under the shocked eyes of the crowd, Xiao Han rose from body tempering tier 9 to element gathering tier. Moreover, the momentum did not stop. Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, she rose 3 tiers in a row before stabilizing. This scene shocked Zhuang Maoxian and Zhuo Wentian. Even Master Pang's heart thumped hard. Qin Hao's alchemy skills were unbelievable. In terms of grade, the marrow-cleansing pill was still a primary pill. Although it was much more effective than the body-tempering pill, it was at most the most effective primary pill. A normal marrow-cleansing pill could raise a person's level from 3 to 4 tiers of body-tempering tier. A supreme-grade pill could raise a person's level by 5 tiers. However, Qin Hao's supreme-grade marrow-cleansing pill was also effective for element-gathering tier. The effect was so strong that it could raise a person's level by 3 tiers. It was really shocking. In fact, Qin Hao's marrow-cleansing pill was not easy to make. Not only did he use up all the origin qi in his body, but he also swallowed 6 origin pills to support himself. If Danxian had not given him a high-grade pill furnace, Qin Hao would have only been able to refine the best quality baptizing marrow pill, but not the best quality. Speaking of which, Qin Hao was able to do all this because he had the experience of his previous life and the flame tempering technique. The flame tempering technique was not an ordinary flame tempering technique. It was Qin Hao's flame tempering technique of the 9 dragons. He was the only one in the world who knew how to use it. Therefore, it was not a coincidence that the supreme grade marrow cleansing pill was so powerful. This is too shocking. It's my fault for offending young Master Qin Hao just now. If there's a chance, I hope young Master Qin Hao can come to my humble abode and make a supreme-grade marrow-cleansing pill for my grandson. Some of the elders in the town said. They were no longer afraid of Zhuang Maoxian and Zhuo Wentian's sharp eyes. Qin Hao was too outstanding. They could not help but praise him. The supreme grade marrow cleansing pill is too tiring. I will improve the medicine made by the Qin family. I hope it can help everyone. However, I hope that everyone can give justice to the Qin family today. I don't want to be doubted and slandered by those with ulterior motives in the upcoming competition. Qin Hao cupped his fists and bowed to the crowd. This action of his won the hearts of the crowd. Qin Hao was magnanimous and did not hold any grudges against them. Many of the elders in the town left the Zhuang family's team and joined the Qin family's team. If they did not leave now, when would they? I think, Zhuang Maoxian, your family's ancestor, I've had enough of you. You're a scum. Go eat sh*t. The town elder roared angrily and ran to the Qin family's camp. Only by joining the Qin family would they be able to escape from Zhuang Maoxian and Zhuo Wentian's control. Only then would they have a chance to live. Ignorant old man. Zhuang Maoxian was furious after being scolded by the mayor in public. Zhuo Wentian stopped him in time and laughed coldly. Doubting and slandering? Such things will never happen again. Because there will never be a need for such things. In other words, Qin Hao would definitely die in the third round. That's right. Let's start the third round. I'll send my granddaughter to fight you. Zhuang Maoxian suppressed his anger toward Qin Hao. There was no need to be angry at a dead person. This granddaughter of his was the highlight of today's competition. She was also Zhuang Maoxian's killing weapon. Granddaughter? Qin Hao felt a chill in his heart. He had always been worried about the third round of the competition. He always had a bad feeling about it. This was Qin Hao's innate intuition. How come I didn't know you had a granddaughter? Chapter 100. His life was saved by his grandaunt. I have a 700-year-old mother-in-law. Do I have to tell you that? Zhuang Maoxian resorted to sophistry and was extremely shameless. Qin Hao scanned the Zhuang clan's team, trying to find the so-called granddaughter. Unfortunately, he couldn't find her. Instead, he saw Zhuang Jiba's eerie smile. His smile was bone-chilling. The Zhuo clan still won't send a candidate for this last round. But Qin Hao, you'll definitely lose. Zhuo Wentian said arrogantly. It was obvious that he had full confidence in Zhuang Maoxian's granddaughter. It was obvious that this granddaughter was the biggest enemy Qin Hao had ever faced. At this moment, the granddaughter finally appeared. She appeared among the Zhuang clan's team and walked coldly towards the arena. She was dressed in red, and her figure was tall and well-proportioned. The moment she appeared, she released a shocking aura. 5th layer of element gathering tier. Qin Shilong's eyes widened in shock. His heart also fell to the bottom. The woman's murderous aura was so cold that it made people shudder. She was definitely not an ordinary person. She couldn't be Zhuang Maoxian's granddaughter. She was obviously a cold-blooded killer. Qin Shilong originally thought that Qin Hao would definitely win the third round. He didn't expect Zhuang Maoxian to use such a despicable method. Only now did Qin Shilong understand that Zhuo Wentian had used a large amount of medicinal pills to create the 8th layer of body-tempering tier to confuse the Qin family. This female assassin was their real trump card. Hao come down quickly. We're not going to compete in the third round. Hao don't force yourself. We don't want the annual meeting's rent. Come home with Grandpa. Qin Laosi and Qin Shilong shouted at the same time. Qin Hao could defeat Qin Yuhai, who was in the 3rd layer of element gathering tier, but he was definitely not a match for someone in the 5th layer of element gathering tier. Moreover, this wasn't a competition at all. It was a borrowed knife to kill. Qin Yuhai and Qin Dapeng, who were standing at the side, were instantly overjoyed. Qin Hao was up against an assassin in the 5th layer of element gathering tier. He was dead for sure this time. On the other hand, Qin Hao's legs seemed to be welded to the ring, unable to move at all. His eyes were full of surprise. But he was not surprised by the strength of the female assassin. Qin Hao knew this female killer.
It's you?
It's you. Both of them spoke at the same time. The female assassin stood face to face with Qin Hao and was also stunned. Little girl in red? Wasn't the person standing in front of him the shrewish girl whom Qin Hao had saved twice in the back mountain of the Qin family? At that time, Qin Hao was riding on her body. As a result, he was slapped 7 or 8 meters away by the little girl in red. Qin Hao clearly remembered that he had snatched the purple meteorite sword back then. Pervert! The little girl in red stared at him with her big watery eyes. Even if Qin Hao turned into ashes, she would still remember that this pervert had bullied her twice. Hey Qilin, why aren't you doing anything? Hurry up and take off that Qin family brat's head. I want him to be my urinal. Zhuang Maoxian was confused. Why were the two people in the ring not doing anything? They were even looking at each other affectionately. What a small world. We meet again. Qin Hao rubbed his nose and smiled in front of the blood Kirin. He could not help but think of their past. Stinky pervert, you haven't left this town yet. You're really brave. But why are you standing in the ring? Could it be that you're also hired by the other family? The blood Kirin could see that Qin Hao was in the first layer of element gathering tier. So he was surprised when he got on the ring. The first time they met, Qin Hao was only in the second layer of body tempering tier. He was like an ant. In the blink of an eye, he had broken through to the element gathering tier. This pervert's cultivation speed was too fast. Now was not the time for them to catch up. In fact, the blood Kirin had taken money from the Zhuang and Zhou families to kill someone for them. He had not expected that the person he was going to kill would be Qin Hao. Qin Hao looked at the blood Kirin and did not speak. His face was full of interest. No wonder Zhuang Maoxian and Zhuo Wentian had been so arrogant. They had even hired the blood Kirin. Qin Hao knew what the blood Kirin was capable of. He had been full of praise for it. If he were to really fight with her, based on Qin Hao's current situation, he would most likely be doomed. The funny thing was that Zhuang Maoxian had chosen the blood Kirin of all people. Qin Hao had risked his life to save her twice in a row. So, he wanted to see what she would do next. Forget it. I'm just unlucky to have met you. I'm not going to fight. The blood Kirin turned around to leave, but he suddenly stopped. He turned around and whispered, "Let me give you a piece of advice. Don't help the other family. The Zhuang and Zhuo families have even more powerful cards up their sleeve. Although I don't know what they are, they don't want to fight. But their goal is definitely not for the competition, but to slaughter." The blood Kirin paused. She pointed at Qin Shilong and the others and said, "You know what I'm talking about. I'm going to kill that family. So, don't try to do anything rash. I'll take you away from this place and save your life." Qin Hao had saved her twice. It was time for her to pay him back. "I'm afraid I can't leave." Qin Hao looked helpless. Why? The blood Kirin did not understand. Did he want to find some excitement? Because the clan I'm fighting against is the Qin clan of this town, and my surname is also Qin. Qin Hao did not know what to say. This girl was strong, but she was not very smart. He still did not know who she was going to fight. Had she been sleeping during the first 2 fights? What did you say? That family's name is Qin? The blood Kirin pointed at Qin Shilong, looking surprised. She had just arrived, so she had not seen Qin Hao's performance in the first 2 fights. At this moment, the people below the stage were getting impatient, especially Zhuang Maoxian. He said, "Little Tian, it's getting late. Kirin, you should do something." The blood Kirin's beautiful face twisted. She was struggling. If she could have ignored the Qin family and just wanted to take Qin Hao away, but now she could not. That was because she was related to the Qin family in Autumn Sky Town. "I don't want to fight. And I won't kill anyone from the Qin family." The blood Kirin turned around and walked off the stage. "What did you say?" Zhuang Maoxian's heart was racing. He had spent so much money to invite her. And now she was not going to fight? Repeat that to old man. What did you just say? Old man, have you stuffed your ears with donkey hair? I said I don't want to fight. The blood Kirin repeated herself. Her voice was very clear. How dare you? Zhuang Maoxian looked angry, but he could still suppress his anger. He forced himself to be gentle and said, You are Grandpa's good granddaughter. I will give you whatever you want. Be a good girl and go twist that kid's head off the stage. Whose grandpa are you? Who is your granddaughter? When the blood Kirin heard the word grandpa, she was furious. She did not give Zhuang Maoxian any face. Suddenly, the crowd started to hiss. Why was Zhuang Maoxian arguing with his granddaughter? Everyone thought there was something wrong. Little Kirin, do you have a headache? I am your grandpa, Zhuang Maoxian. Zhuang Maoxian was still holding on. You are pretending to be a grandson. I don't know you. I only care about money. But now, the blood Kirin pulled out a stack of money and threw it at Zhuang Maoxian's face. I don't want to do this business anymore. I will pay you double. And you cannot touch a single member of the Qin family. Especially him. Chapter 101. Trapped inside an out boom. Zhuang Maoxian felt as if he had been struck by a bolt of lightning. It almost blinded him. He had spent so much money to hire the blood Kirin, but not only had it not worked for him, but it had also protected Qin Hao. It was a slap in the face. Everyone pointed at Zhuang Maoxian and whispered. Zhuo Wentian's face looked glum. He did not understand why the blood Kirin was helping Qin Hao. You are all confused, aren't you? Actually, this lady is not Zhuang Maoxian's granddaughter. She is a hero who steals from the rich to help the poor. Zhuang Maoxian wants to take over the Qin family's 6 good liquid and minerals. He set up an arena for this lady to kill me. What a clever plan. As soon as Qin Hao finished speaking, the blood Kirin added, Yes, I am an assassin. I am not this old bastard's granddaughter. I am only working for him because I am paid to. But I cannot kill my benefactor. This bastard. Ahem. I mean, this mister saved my life. After that, the blood Kirin looked at Qin Hao with blame. She had lost a lot of money that day. She had not earned any money, and she had to pay double the commission. She had also offended Zhuang Maoxian and Zhuo Wentian. Her words cleared up Zhuang Maoxian and Zhuo Wentian's doubts. It turned out that Qin Hao had saved the blood Kirin's life. No wonder she had betrayed him. Good things always happened to Qin Hao. Suddenly, there was an uproar. You want to murder Qin Hao? How shameless! You want his medicine business and minerals. That's why you are using such despicable methods. You want us to testify. You use the annual meeting as a cover. You want to kill him in a dignified manner? You are so evil. Be careful not to be struck by lightning and have no descendants. The people of Qiu Tian Town cursed. They finally knew the truth. Paper could not wrap fire. At the same time, they were also impressed by Qin Hao's righteousness. He had even saved the assassin's life. Good people deserved good things. Zhuang Maoxian and Zhuo Wentian felt as if their faces were about to peel off. They were furious. Shut up, old man. Zhuang Maoxian roared. So what if you're plotting against the Qin clan? So what if I killed Qin Hao? He crippled my grandson. Shouldn't the old man settle the score with him? As for you guys, forgive me for being blunt. You bunch of dogs are a bunch of stinky dog shit. What can you do to me? Zhuang Maoxian looked down on the entire town and glared at Zhuo Wentian in dissatisfaction. I already told you not to hold the annual meeting and just kill them. Why do you have to care about your reputation? It's true that I, Zhuang Maoxian, am a despicable person, but you're even more ruthless than me. You're a complete hypocrite. After being scolded by Zhuang Maoxian, Zhuo Wentian could no longer hide his foxtail. He revealed his sinister face. Indeed, I shouldn't have done this. Qin Shilong, just obediently hand over the mine. I can still be merciful and build you a grave, and you, Zhuo Wentian pointed at Xiao Han in the crowd. Hand over the jade pendant to the old man, otherwise, I'll kill all of you. I'm not ashamed to be in the same group as you two old bastards. Do you really want to fight to the death? Qin Shilong felt deeply humiliated. He, Zhuang Maoxian, and Zhuo Wentian were of the same generation. They were known as the three heroes of Qiutian town. Once this was a great honor. Now there was only humiliation. Fight to the death? You're wrong. The fish will die, but the net will not be broken. Zhuo Wentian waved his hand. A large group of people from the Zhuo family surrounded the Qin family. Since they had already shed all pretense of cordiality, there was no need to hide anymore. As for the three heroes of Qiutian, I'm sorry, but it will soon become two heroes. Then, Zhuang Maoxian waved his hand. The Zhuang family's devil team pulled out their Zamadeo and blocked the Qin family's escape route. My Hao is Dan Xian's disciple. Are you really not afraid of Elder Dan Xian? Qin Shilong was extremely nervous, as if he was facing a great enemy. The Qin family could barely handle one family. If they had to face two families, they would definitely be wiped out. He had no choice but to bring up Dan Xian, hoping to scare off Zhuang Maoxian and Zhuo Wentian. Who does Dan Xian think he is? He's nothing compared to the leader of the Dan sect. The two of you can do whatever you want. At this time, Master Peng walked out to support Zhuang Maoxian and Zhuo Wentian. These words completely shattered Qin Shilong's last shred of hope. Master Peng then pointed at Qin Hao. You? Why don't you get your ass in front of my pants and hand over the spatial device and the furnace? In response, Qin Hao laughed coldly. Another guy who stole the spatial device. In the past, none of the people who stole the spatial device survived. They all went to hell. Hao don't give it to him. Today, old man will die together with them. Qin Shilong had no choice but to order, fourth brother, and this Qilin heroine, please escort Hao and little Han out of here. Third brother, take you and leave. Lu Yu, Yu Hai, the two of you will follow me and fight until the heavens and earth are turned upside down. As long as there is one person left in the Qin clan, we will definitely kill our way back to Akita town and take revenge. Qin clan's sons, kill for me, kill. The Qin family's guards all drew their swords. Although they were outnumbered, they were completely suppressed. However, at this moment, even the old servant did not retreat. Because Qin Hao's words of protection for the servants and maids were worth everyone's sacrifice. They were willing to sacrifice their lives for the young master. After Qin Shilong gave his final order, he glared angrily and rushed towards Zhuang Maoxian. As soon as he took a step forward, he spat out a mouthful of black blood. This mouthful of blood was too sudden. Father, what's wrong? Qin fourth brother wanted to go over and support Qin Shilong, but at this moment, his stomach churned and he couldn't help but spit out a mouthful of black blood. Not only him, but Qin third brother also vomited blood. Highly toxic? Qin third brother clutched his chest. His face turned green as if he was out of oxygen. It was getting harder and harder for him to breathe. This scene shocked everyone, including Zhuang Maoxian and Zhuo Wentian. They were all caught off guard and couldn't react at all. Who was it that poisoned the Qin family? 3 people were poisoned in one go. These 3 people were the strongest forces in the Qin family. It could be said that this poison had also poisoned the Qin family. It made the already dangerous Qin family even more difficult and difficult. Ha ha ha, retribution has come. Qin Yuhai laughed loudly. He was laughing so hard that tears were flowing out of his eyes. My son, I've taken revenge for you. The rat poison has finally reacted. No one spoke up for you back then. Now I'll let them all accompany you. It's you. Qin Shilong's face was full of disbelief. The person who poisoned him was actually his own son. Second brother, are you crazy? Qin fourth brother was furious. Crazy? You're the crazy ones. My son worked so hard to cultivate in Fengli Temple for 10 years. When he returned home, not only was he not valued, you didn't even give him a single praise. Especially you. Qin Yuhai angrily pointed at Qin Hao. Who do you think you are? How can my son not be compared to you? In terms of background, he's the eldest son of the Qin family. In terms of status, he's a disciple of Fengli Temple. In terms of strength, he reached body tempering stage 6 half a year ago. Zhuang Heba is nothing in front of him. Chapter 102. Mad Dog jumps over the wall. Haha! Zhuang Maoxian and Zhuo Wentian were the first to burst into laughter. They hadn't even made a move yet, but the Qin family was already fighting among themselves. Qin Yuhai had done a great job. Yuhai, you're a fool. Qin Shilong tried his best to suppress the poison in his body. His beard was stained with black blood. Although he wouldn't die from the poison, it greatly affected his fighting ability. You're insane. Qin Laosan felt that he was already a terrible person. Qin Yuhai was even worse. He even dared to kill his own father. Second brother did such a heartless thing. He'll only hurt his family and delight his enemies. He's even worse than third brother. At least third brother knows that if the family collapses, we won't be able to survive. Qin Laosan sized up the situation. When the nest was overturned, no eggs would remain intact. This poison had undoubtedly pushed the Qin family into a desperate situation. So what? I've lived long enough. I can't wait for you all to die with me. But you little bastard, why didn't you vomit blood after drinking the soup? Qin Yuhai pointed at Qin Hao. Qin Yuhai had put rat poison in the family's soup this morning, but Qin Hao hadn't been poisoned. Are you talking about that bowl of snow lotus soup? I fed it to the dog. Qin Hao said bluntly. He was Dendi, who had been reborn. He could tell if there was poison in the food with just a sniff. Therefore, he didn't hesitate to ask Xiao Han to throw away the snow lotus soup. Also, I fell in the west courtyard. Xiao Han said coldly. Boom. Qin Yuhai was shocked. What did you say? I said. I fell in the west courtyard. Xiao Han repeated. Qin Yuhai burst into tears. He had a dog in the west courtyard. The big dog was called Anpei, and its nickname was Third Jin. Qin Yuhai doted on it very much and saw it as his third son after Qin Dapeng and Qin Daming. But now, you poison my younger brother Third Jin to death. Qin Dapeng was so angry that his face turned ashen. Even his last family member in the west courtyard had died. All of this, you brought it on yourselves. Qin Hao said coldly. If someone offends me, I will definitely repay them. Alright. Let's go to hell together. Let's see who can save you today. Qin Yuhai suppressed the grief in his heart. At this point, the Qin family was completely finished. Once Qin Shilong died, Zhuang Maoxian would definitely not let Qin Hao off. Amazing, this is just too amazing. Master Peng clapped his hands and said, Old man, here is a bottle of good detoxification medicine. This medicine can cure your poison. Qin Laosan, I'll give you a chance to live. As long as you shout 3 times, Pang Danning is your father and Qin Shilong is your turtle grandson. The old man will be merciful and give you the medicine. With that, Master Peng took out a jade bottle from his bosom. He proudly waved the jade bottle in front of everyone's eyes. He wanted to destroy the last shred of dignity of the Qin family. The reason why he chose Qin Laosan was because Qin Laosan's mouth was cheap enough. Moreover, his character was not good. He was definitely a greedy person who was afraid of death. In order to live, Qin Laosan would definitely curse Qin Shilong to death. Just thinking about it made the scene spectacular. Alright, I'll curse. Pang Danning, I'll curse your 7 aunts, 8 aunts, little cousin's grandmother. Unexpectedly, Qin Laosan cursed at Master Pang. Third brother, you have a backbone. You are worthy of being my son. Qin Shilong sighed with emotion. Qin Laosan, who he had always looked down on, had such courage. Unappreciative thing, congratulations, you've obtained a great treasure. The treasure is a coffin. Master Pang angrily threw the jade bottle to the ground with a bang. He even lifted his foot and ruthlessly stomped on the pill, crushing it into powder. It was as if he wasn't stepping on the pill, but the entire Qin family. He wanted to destroy all hope of the Qin family. Master Pang's heart was filled with indescribable joy. He even mocked Qin Hao. So what if you beat the old man? So what if you know the flame tempering technique? Do you think you're so awesome after refining the peerless marrow cleansing pill? You must be upset when you saw the old man crush the antidote. You must be very anxious to see your grandfather and uncles being poisoned to death. What's the use of your pill refining skills? If you can refine the antidote now, I'll call you ancestor 3 times. Hearing this, Qin Hao laughed. Actually, I do have a bottle of antidote. However, this antidote wasn't originally prepared for the Qin family. Who are you trying to scare? Master Pang screamed. I don't believe you have the antidote either. Even if you did, it wouldn't be able to cure my poison. Because this is a rat poison, a peerless rat poison, ha. Qin Yuhai laughed with tears in his eyes. The poison that the famous child risked his life to bring out from Fengli Temple was extremely toxic. For this, he suffered great humiliation and had to wash someone's smelly feet for half a year. There was no way Qin Hao could cure it. Is that so? I believe Master Pang should have some insight into this bottle of cleansing powder. Qin Hao's spatial ring lit up and he took out a jade bottle with a smile. Cleansing powder? Impossible. This can't be real. Master Pang looked at the jade bottle in shock. Cleansing powder was a first-grade super pill, comparable to a second-grade pill. It could cure all poisons below the 3rd grade. Only second-grade pill masters could refine it. In the whole Heaven's Wall City, only the head of the alchemy sect and Dan Xian of Fengli Temple had such ability. Qin Hao, a mere first layer of element gathering tier, could refine cleansing powder unless the sun rose from the west. However, in the next moment, Qin Hao gave Master Pang a tight slap in the face. He opened the jade bottle and took out 3 cleansing powder, throwing them to Qin Shilong, Qin Laosi, and Qin Laosan. Qin Shilong and the other 2 swallowed the pills without hesitation. Immediately, a cool and refreshing feeling spread through his body. It was as if a sweet spring had spread from his throat to his entire body, purifying the poison in his body. All the pain disappeared in an instant. This is a godly medicine. Qin Laosan's face was full of shock. His whole body felt extremely comfortable, and a weak force of energy even appeared in his body, stimulating his dantian. Faintly, he seemed to be about to break through from the 3rd layer of element gathering tier that had been stagnant for a long time. Not only Qin Laosan, Qin Shilong also felt the same. 1. A ring of surging origin qi emitted from Qin Laosi's body. Sorry, I seem to have broken through to the 6th layer of element gathering tier. Qin Laosi said, his eyes full of admiration for Qin Hao. Gotcha! Master Pang was shocked. Boom! Zhuang Maoxian and Zhuo Wentian were both petrified. Qin Yuhai stomped his feet anxiously. How could this happen? What the hell, I'll beat you to death, you little bastard. Qin Yuhai's face was as ferocious as a ghost. The shock he received was too great and he went completely crazy. He slammed his palm towards Qin Hao. He had endured until now, thinking that the red-cloved female killer would kill Qin Hao in the 3rd round. He was wild with joy, but in the end, his expectations were too high. Not only did the female killer not kill Qin Hao, she even protected him. The poison that Qin Yuhai's son had exchanged his life for was easily neutralized by Qin Hao. Qin Laosi even broke through to the 6th layer of element gathering tier because of this. What the F***ck is this alchemy master? Qin Yuhai went completely berserk. There was only hatred in his eyes, and countless curses were running through his mind. He was determined to tear Qin Hao into pieces. You still dare to do evil? Qin Laosi immediately attacked, slamming his palm towards Qin Yuhai's back. The two of them were the closest to each other. Qin Hao used the cleansing powder to save the Qin family, and also saved Qin Laosi's life. He had to do something for Qin Hao. Chapter 103. The merciful grandfather, however, Qin Yuhai hated Qin Hao to the bone and did not care about how heavy third Qin's palm strike was. Even if he had to die, he would drag Qin Hao down with him. Pung pung. Two heavy thuds were heard. Qin Yuhai's palm landed on Qin Hao's chest. However, Qin Hao did not even move a step. He took the attack head-on and was unharmed. His defense was amazing. It could be seen that his strength had improved a lot. Qin Yuhai was in trouble. Third Qin chased after him and gave him a heart-stopping blow. When Third Qin attacked, the purity-dissipating powder in his body took effect and temporarily broke through to the fourth layer of Element Gathering Tear. The fourth layer of Element Gathering Tear's palm was beyond Qin Yuhai's endurance. Qin Yuhai spat out a mouthful of blood. His spine was broken by Third Qin. He turned his head with difficulty. Third brother, I didn't mean it. I just wanted to force you to stop. Third Qin was scared silly and quickly retreated. He did not expect that Qin Yuhai would rather die than vent his hatred on Qin Hao instead of defending himself. However, Qin Yuhai had already fallen to the ground and died. I really didn't mean it. I just wanted to save Hao. Third Qin's mind was in a mess because he had killed his family. Qin Duping's eyes turned red and he screamed like he had gone mad. Qin Hao, I want your life. After roaring, he also ran towards the ring. Anyone who makes my big brother an enemy is my enemy. Die. Qin Yu blocked the attack without hesitation and hit Qin Duping's chest with his palm. Qin Duping rushed quickly and flew even faster. How could a third-layer body-tempering tear be a match for a eighth-layer Qin Yu? He was killed on the spot. In the blink of an eye, the western courtyard branch of the Qin family was wiped out. Qin Shilong's face was full of tears and he shook his head in pain. However, he knew that this was all Qin Yuhai's fault. Why can't you be like your fourth brother and be more tolerant of Hao, this poor child? Even if you're like your third brother and become a fence-sitter, it's still better than your current situation. Yuhai, you're muddle-headed. Qin Shilong was mentally and physically exhausted. If only Qin Yuhai had treated Qin Hao better back then. Even if he lowered his head and admitted his mistake like Qin Laosan. He believed that with Qin Hao's character, he would never treat the father and son unfairly. Qin Yuhai, on the other hand, was blinded by his own interests. He was bent on becoming the head of the family and was determined to kill Qin Hao, ruining his family's opportunity to rise. Too exciting, 2F** king crazy. Ha! Zhuang Maoxian simply held his stomach and laughed crazily. The Qin family fought each other like dogs, and two of them were bitten to death. How ironic! What a joke! Zhuang Maoxian was laughing so hard that he wanted to roll on the ground. He couldn't help but say to Zhuo Wentian, "Look at the Qin family. Don't they look like a pack of wolves?" Zhuo Wentian was also laughing hard. The excitement on his face was even greater than Zhuang Maoxian's. He even spat out a mouthful of blood as if he had reached the climax. This stunned Zhuang Maoxian. He secretly cursed Zhuo Wentian for being so excited that he was willing to use his inner energy to make himself spit out a mouthful of blood to mock the Qin family. However, in the next moment, Zhuang Maoxian's expression changed drastically. A scorching wave of qi surged madly in his body, almost burning his internal organs. He couldn't even suppress it. Then, he spat out a mouthful of blood at his feet. This mouthful of blood corroded a hole in the ground. However, it wasn't over yet. Poo, 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 a series of coughing sounds rang out. Master Pang, Zhuang Bai, and a martial artist in the fifth layer of element gathering tier of the Zhua clan all coughed up blood one after another. It was a spectacular scene. All of them coughed up blood was boiling hot blood. This caused the whole situation to become even more shocking. Even Qin Shilong forgot his sorrow and was stunned on the spot. The Qin family had been poisoned first, followed by the Zhua and Zhuang clans. What was going on? Everyone present was stunned. Strange things happened every year, but today was especially bizarre. Who was it that had poisoned the Zhua and Zhuang clans? I've said it before, the cleansing powder is not prepared for the Qin family. Qin Hao smiled like a spring breeze. The show had only just begun. It's Qin Hao, you little bastard? Zhuang Maoxian circulated all the origin qi in his body, trying to suppress the heat poison in his body. The more he suppressed it, the more intense it became. His battle prowess had already been reduced to 30%. The poison was extremely overbearing. No, 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 I haven't had the chance to poison you. Qin Hao shook his head. The Zhua and Zhuang clans were heavily guarded. He couldn't possibly sneak in. Saying this, Qin Hao raised his hand and snapped his fingers. Grandfather, long time no see. How are you? Oh, I'm sorry, looks like you're no longer of any use. Your days are numbered. A cold voice rang out. This voice was very familiar to Zhuo Wentian. In an instant, two figures walked into the hall from the shadows. They were Zhuo Junshan and his father, Zhuo Maqiang. You two bastards poisoned him. Zhuo Wentian insisted. That's right, I poisoned him. Zhuo Junshan didn't deny it. Only he could sneak into the Zhuo clan without anyone noticing. And only he could throw poison into the Zhuo clan's patriarch's food. He hadn't expected Zhuang Maoxian, Zhuang Bai, and Master Pang to be there this morning. That saved him a lot of trouble, allowing Zhuo Junshan to clean them all up. Old man has no grudge against you. Why did you attack me? Master Pang's face was red from the poison, as if flames were burning on his face. He was in an extremely dangerous situation. I didn't ask you to come to the Zhuo clan to eat and drink, did I? King came here to seek death. Who can you blame? Zhuo Junshan rolled his eyes. He didn't take Master Pang seriously at all. Give the antidote to old man. Zhuo Wentian shouted loudly, giving off a very imposing aura. In the past, perhaps Zhuo Junshan would have been frightened. But now, he wagged a finger disdainfully in front of his nose. That's right, you're so good to me and my father. In order to collude with the Zhuang clan to get rid of young Master Qin Hao, in order to seize the Qin family's Lulianjai and minerals, you cruelly chased me and my father out of the clan. You even sent Zhuo Dade and his son to humiliate us. If young Master Qin Hao hadn't saved us, my father and I would have died in that rundown temple long ago. During the hunt, Zhuo Junshan's palm had been pierced by Zhuang Ji's 8 strikes, causing his palm technique to be unable to improve. He'd thought that his beloved grandfather would kill his way to the Zhuang clan and seek justice for him. But the outcome had left him bitterly disappointed. Forget about seeking justice, Zhuo Wentian had directly abandoned him. He'd wanted to join forces with the Zhuang clan to get rid of the Qin family. Abandoning Zhuo Junshan was also Zhuang Maoxian's request. After all, Zhuo Junshan and Zhuang Ji had a grudge against each other. Not only that, Zhuo Wentian had also supported a new member of the clan named Zhuo Junliang. Zhuo Junliang and his father, Zhuo Dade, had repeatedly tried to kill Zhuo Junshan. In order to save Zhuo Junshan's life, Zhuo Junshan's father had been forced to kneel and cripple his own cultivation. I'll never forget the contempt on Zhuo Junliang's face. I'll never forget how arrogant he was. And I'll never forget the tears on my father's face. In order to save my life, he was a man of steel, but he was forced to kneel and beg like a dog. After my father gave up his cultivation, that bastard Zhuo Dade even stepped on my father's head and peed on him. Zhuo Junchen was practically gritting his teeth as he spoke. Every word was laced with blood. Chen don't say any more. This is what a father should do. Chapter 104. To recognize a criminal as one's father. No, what I want to say is that if my palm hadn't been crippled, I wouldn't have known how cold-blooded the Zhuo family is. If I hadn't been chased out of the clan, I wouldn't have known how heartless they are. If I didn't fail in the hunt, I wouldn't have known how hypocritical and insidious Master Zhuo, who is known as the #1 master of Akita Town, is. Zhuo Wentian, you really are my good grandfather. Zhuo Junchen squeezed these words out through gritted teeth. It was obvious how much he hated the Zhuo family. I'm hypocritical? I'm treacherous? You're even more ruthless than me. You're a lunatic who's worse than a pig or a dog. How dare you poison your own grandfather? Zhuo Wentian was furious. It's all because of you. You can even abandon your own grandson and son. Our lives are worthless to you, and we've become bargaining chips in your deal with the Zhuang family. Even a vicious tiger would not eat its own cubs. Yet you sent people to kill your grandson and son. This is my grandfather. This is a wolf in human skin. Let me ask you, this kind of family, this kind of poisonous heart, what qualifications do they have to make me pay? What qualifications do you have to be worthy of my nostalgia? You said I'm worse than a dog or a pig, but at least I know how to be grateful. Zhuo Junchen's eyes were brimming with tears. Just a while ago, Zhuo Dade didn't let them off. He ran to the ruined temple to kill them. Coincidentally, Lu Yu, who had rushed over, saw them and saved Zhuo Junchen and Zhuo Emochang's lives. Lu Yu took out a bottle of poison and told Zhuo Junchen what Qin Hao had told him to poison Zhuo Wentian. Zhuo Junchen nodded in agreement. Not to mention that Qin Hao had saved his life. Furthermore, he had Lu Yu bring him a medicinal pill. This medicinal pill healed the wound on Zhuo Junchen's palm and mended his only weakness. In addition, Qin Hao had also written a cultivation technique to increase the power of Zhuo Junchen's palm technique. Zhuo Junchen sobbed emotionally. Qin Hao had given him a second chance at life. He had given him the hope of redeeming his dignity. To Zhuo Junchen, Qin Hao had given him a new lease on life. Yesterday, under Lu Yu's guidance, Zhuo Junchen and his father had secretly made a trip to the Qin Manor's eastern courtyard to meet Qin Hao. Qin Hao immediately saw that Zhuo Mo had forcefully severed his own meridians. It was too much of a coincidence. The meridian replenishing grass he used to repair Lu Yu's meridians hadn't been used up yet. That night, Qin Hao did not hesitate to expend his energy to refine a core formation pill, allowing Zhuo Moqiang, a cripple, to be reborn. Although during the hunt young Master Qin Hao did use some small tricks, he was still able to defeat me. But in reality, he didn't hurt me in the slightest. I can only blame myself for being inferior. What about you? He sent Zhuo Dade to kill me. Zhuo Wentian, you're so ruthless. Zhuo Junchen explained everything in one breath. Old man didn't send anyone to kill you. Dade, what's going on? Zhuo Wentian was also stunned. In truth, he really hadn't sent anyone to kill Zhuo Junchen. Because Zhuo Junchen and Zhuo Emochang were already crippled, they were completely useless. Could it be? Could it be that Zhuo Dade acted on his own accord and purposely acted arrogantly in front of Zhuo Junchen? Father, don't believe him. I'm a person of noble character and integrity. How could I do such a despicable thing? Zhuo Dade would never admit it even if he was beaten to death. He was determined to keep it a secret. That's right. I've always respected Zhuo Junchen and called him Brother Chen. In the past, he ignored me and looked down on me. Now, he's slandering me. This is intolerable. Die. A young man suddenly ran out from the Zhuo family's group and punched Zhuo Junchen's chest. His name was Zhuo Junliang, the body-tempering stage 8 cultivator that Zhuo Wentian had nurtured with a large amount of pills. He had to kill Zhuo Junchen to silence him. Otherwise, he would expose Zhuo Dade's dirty deeds. Zhuo Junchen must die. Bang! The punch landed squarely on Zhuo Junchen's chest. Zhuo Junliang did not believe that Qin Hao could heal Zhuo Junchen. Even if he did, he would only be a body-tempering stage 4 cultivator. He was no match for him. However, he did not manage to send Zhuo Junchen flying. He did not even hurt a single bone. That's impossible. I'm a body-tempering stage 8 cultivator. Zhuo Junliang was dumbfounded. Yes, you're a body-tempering stage 8 cultivator, but I'm a body-tempering stage 8 cultivator, Zhuo Junchen said coldly. After that, he gathered a ball of green primal qi in his palm and pressed it against Zhuo Junliang's head. This palm technique was extremely powerful. It was the Zhuo family's mountain-splitting palm. After Qin Hao's modification, the mountain-splitting palm's power had been increased by more than 2 times. Pung! Zhuo Junliang's skull was crushed. Zhuo Junliang's eyes widened in horror as he fell to the ground like a pile of mud. This scene shocked everyone. He killed a body-tempering stage 8 cultivator with a single palm strike. Zhuo Junchen had really recovered. His strength was terrifying. He had reached the body-tempering stage. At this moment, everyone looked at Qin Hao in awe. He was like an alchemy deity. My son, Zhuo Dade sobbed into the sky. He spat out a mouthful of blood. Originally, he was poisoned by Qin Hao. At this moment, he was hit by the pain of losing his son. Under the fire of anxiety, he almost lost his life. Young Master Qin Hao, thank you for your kindness. Zhuo Junchen had avenged his humiliation by killing his former enemy. He immediately fell to his knees and kowtowed to Qin Hao. You gave me a new life. From now on, I Qin Hao. No, my surname is no longer Zhuo. I Qin Hao will sever all ties with the Zhuo family. I swear that I will be young Master Qin Hao's sword. Wherever the sword points, I will kill. Looking at the kneeling Zhuo Junchen, Qin Hao felt a little embarrassed. He had cured Zhuo Junchen because he wanted Zhuo Junchen to poison Zhuo Wentian. It was just a deal. He did not expect Zhuo Junchen to be such a sentimental person. It seemed like he had underestimated him. I am also willing to become old hero Qin Shilong's disciple. I don't ask for old hero Qin Shilong's favor. I only ask that you give me the right to be your servant. Zhuo Maqiang also kowtowed at Qin Shilong's feet. Boom! This scene was so dazzling that it almost blinded everyone's eyes. Zhuo Maqiang and Zhuo Junchen used to be extremely glorious in the Zhuo family. Now that they had entered the Qin family, they did not hesitate to lower their status. One was willing to be a lackey, while the other was willing to be a servant. Qin Shilong was also very surprised. Then, he laughed loudly. Good, good, good. Old man will definitely not abandon you. He pointed at Zhuo Wentian and said, Look, these are your grandson and son. Little Chen's talent is extraordinary. Even I used to be jealous of you for having such a good grandson, but you did not know how to cherish him. If it was old man's grandson who was bullied, he would definitely go to the Zhuang family to seek justice, even if he had to bury the entire Qin family. Today, I announce that I have accepted Maqiang as my adopted son. He will be in charge of the west courtyard of the Qin family. Godfather, please accept a bow from Qin Chang. Zhuo Maqiang was moved to tears. Qin Shilong did not mind that he was once a member of the Zhuo family. Traitor, unfilial son, son of a bitch. Zhuo Wentian cursed loudly. He was so angry that his gums were bleeding. This was simply a great humiliation. This was too much. His own son and grandson had run to their enemy and become lackeys. I say, stop arguing. I'm about to be poisoned to death. A hoarse and extremely weak voice sounded. Master Peng held his stomach. His entire body was red from the heat, and his skin was beginning to fester. He was not as strong as Zhuo Wentian and Zhuang Maoxian. He could not suppress the raging fire poison in his body. The poison was too fierce. Chapter 105. Chapter 105. Why don't you try the antidote? As he spoke, Zhuo Wentian and Zhuang Maoxian both felt the unbearable pain of being burned alive. Zhuo Dade's eyes were already rolling back from the poison. Grandmaster Peng, you are an elder of the pill sect. Quickly use your awesome technique to detoxify us. Zhuang Bai loudly cried for help. Wasn't Master Peng very arrogant just now? You're full of disdain for my master, Qin Hao. Why don't you try curing the poison now? Zhuo Junchen said sarcastically. He had watched the entire event from beginning to end. Master Peng was speechless. Grandmaster's alchemy skills are unparalleled. Hurry up and cure us. Miraculous hand, I have long admired your coquettish Dao technique. I'm dying of thirst too. At this moment, Master Peng had undoubtedly become Zhuang Maoxian, Zhuo Wentian, and Zhuo Dade's savior. However, they neglected the fact that Master Peng himself was poisoned. Old man's medicine has been crushed. Shatter, shatter, shatter. Master Peng wanted to cry but had no tears. His intestines were green with regret. He lowered his head and glanced at the bottom of his foot. The antidote had been crushed by his foot, and he had even crushed it a few times. What a sin! The pill turned into powder and mixed with the soil. Zhuo Wentian and Zhuang Maoxian's expressions were extremely ugly. They would not lie on the ground and lick the powder. That was something that wild dogs would do. Don't waste your time. This poison, you can't cure it. Qin Hao shook his head. All you need to know is that I've added a centipede's feeler to the poison. What did you say? Master Peng jumped to his feet. The centipede's feelers were not the feelers of a centipede. Instead, it was the rhizome of a plant that was shaped like a centipede. However, it was a grade 2 most poisonous medicinal herb and was rarely found in Heaven's Wall City. How did you get it? Master Peng was in complete despair. What Qin Hao refined was a grade 2 poison. Unless the sect master of the Dan sect arrived, otherwise, even the Daluo immortals would not be able to save everyone. You don't have to worry about where I got it from. Qin Hao would never reveal his secret. In fact, it was useless to say anything. The centipede tentacles were dug out from the shore of the lake when he went to retrieve the red lotus fire from the mountain of explosive flames. Now all the herbs there had died. A grade 2 poison must be neutralized with a grade 2 antidote. If old man has the cleansing powder, we won't be in danger. Master Peng blurted out. Cleansing powder? Zhuang Maoxian and Zhuo Wentian looked at each other, then looked at the jade bottle in Qin Hao's hand. Wasn't the cleansing powder in the jade bottle? Qin Hao shook the bottle with a smile. In order to save my family, I've already used up 3 pills. Now, there are only 2 pills left in the bottle. In other words, he could only save the lives of 2 people at most. The crucial point was that 5 of Zhuo Wentian's group were poisoned. The cleansing powder became even more precious. If you give one to the old man, I will immediately turn around and leave. I will never help that old bastard Zhuo Wentian again. Moreover, I won't pursue Wang Gudan's death any further. From now on, we'll mind our own business. What do you think? Master Peng was the first to speak. His eyes were filled with anxiety. No. Qin Hao flatly refused. You. Master Peng gritted his teeth and begged again. I'll help the Qin family deal with the Zhuo and Zhuang families. With the support of the Dan sect, you can do whatever you want. Even if you forcefully kidnap Zhuang Maoxian's mother, old man will take care of everything for you. That should be fine, right? No. Qin Hao refused again. Old man will give you all the money he has saved over the years, as well as my pills and herbs. Everything I have. Those herbs are incomparably precious. You are also an alchemist, so you should know their value very well. Master Peng's heart was bleeding. He had even taken out his most precious treasure. He wanted nothing more than to take off his pants and give it to Qin Hao. Sorry, I don't care. Qin Hao curled his lips in disdain. Your pills? Sorry, I can refine them myself, and I can refine them better than you. Your money? How much money can an outer sect elder have? I have 500,000 taels of silver in my pocket. I don't lack money. As for your herbs? I'm afraid they are also trash on the market. What will it take for you to let me go? I'll call you father, okay? In order to survive, Master Peng didn't even care about his face. Calling me father is not bad. Qin Hao pointed at Zhuang Maoxian's son, Zhuang Bai. I'll give you a chance to live. As long as you are willing to open your mouth and shout 3 times that Zhuang Maoxian is your grandson, I'll give you a cleansing powder. When the Qin family was poisoned, Master Peng had humiliated Third Elder Qin in this way. Qin Hao wanted an eye for an eye. Ha ha ha! Third Elder Qin was going crazy with joy. He knew that Qin Hao was venting his anger for him. Third Elder Qin couldn't help but feel touched. Buyer, don't listen to Qin Hao. He won't give you the pill. You are highly educated and have a noble character. You won't scold your father, right? Zhuang Maoxian saw through Qin Hao's plan and advised his son not to shout. Of course, I have a noble character and care for the elderly. How can I scold a shameless dog like you? You're an old bald dog that can't be fed. You're a waste of air when you're alive and a waste of land when you're dead. I'm your ancestor. What can you do to me? You're an idiot who can only eat sh*t and forbid others from farting. Do you believe that I can punch you to the top of the wall? Zhuang Bai scolded Zhuang Maoxian. After scolding him, he didn't even blush. Bastard, unfilial son. I was blind. I couldn't control myself back then. How could a smelly fart bring you out? Zhuang Maoxian was furious. If Zhuang Bai wasn't his son, he would have killed him. This scene made the townspeople laugh like crazy. Third Elder Qin's mouth was already very foul. When Zhuang Bai scolded people, he was even worse than Third Elder Qin. Even Zhuang Maoxian's words were sharp enough. This pair of father and son colluding with each other was destined to be despised. Young Master Qin Hao, I've finished scolding him. Please give me the medicine. Moreover, I think Zhuang Maoxian is too bad. I'm not ashamed to be associated with him. I'd like to be like Zhuo Maqiang. Ah no, I'd like to be like Qin Chang. I'd like to be a disciple of the old hero Qin Shilong and be a noble son. Zhuang Bai shamelessly kowtowed to Qin Shilong. Seeing this scene, Zhuang Maoxian was about to vomit blood. Father, take me away too. Zhuang Ji was anxious. Who's your father? You're a cripple. Your mother is calling you to eat. Get out of here. In order to survive, Zhuang Bai didn't recognize anyone. He wanted to get the cleansing powder. Zhuang Maoxian, F*ck your ancestor. Master Peng also scolded, but he obviously didn't know how to scold people. He was so anxious that he was sweating. The scene was very awkward. Nephew Qin Hao, if I also scold Zhuang Maoxian to vent your anger, do you think you can? Zhuo Wentian forced a smile. In other words, if he scolded Zhuang Maoxian, he hoped that Qin Hao would give him a cleansing powder. After all, there were only 2 cleansing powder. It was first come, first serve. Although Zhuo Wentian didn't think it was possible, he was still willing to take a gamble. Old Zhuo, I swear I won't let you live under the same sky. Zhuang Maoxian had become a drowning dog that everyone wanted to beat up. Chapter 106. Former enemy. I'm sorry, but this old man can't afford to have a son with a human face but a beast heart like you. Qin Shilong could still differentiate between good and evil. Zhuang Bai's character couldn't compare to Zhuo Maqiang's. Did you hear that? My grandfather said, you don't deserve it. Qin Hao never thought of giving the cleansing powder to Zhuang Bai, let alone anyone else. Actually, there's no cleansing powder in the bottle. Qin Hao tipped the bottle over, but not a single pill fell out. His fingers loosened and the jade bottle shattered. It also shattered Zhuo Wentian and the others' hopes of survival. He was just toying with them. Ha ha! I saw through your scheme long ago, so I knelt on the ground and exposed you. You're too vicious, everyone will curse you. Zhuang Bai stood up, laughing instead of getting angry. He didn't blush at all, and turned to Zhuang Maoxian. Father, I'm still your good son. You're so king good. Zhuang Maoxian slapped Zhuang Bai's mouth. This Zhuang Bai was shameless to the extreme. You dare to toy with old man, you must be tired of living. Zhuo Wentian was furious. They were played by Qin Hao. I think you're the ones who are tired of living. Qin Laosi stood up angrily. At this point, Zhuo Wentian and the others still didn't realize that they were about to die. Actually, from the moment they were poisoned, the situation had changed completely. Qin Shilong's rat poison was cured by Qin Hao, and he recovered his battle prowess at the peak of the 8th tier of Element Gathering tier. Qin Laosi took the cleansing powder and broke through to the 6th tier of Element Gathering tier. Qin Laosi broke through to the 4th tier of Element Gathering tier. Xiao Han was even more nature-defying, jumping from the body tempering tier to the 3rd tier of Element Gathering tier. The Qin family still had the Blood Kirin, Zhuo Maqiang, and Zhuo Junchen. They were full of talents, and their strength had multiplied several times. On the other hand, the Zhuo and Zhuang clans were poisoned by Qin Hao. Zhuo Wentian and Zhuang Maoxian couldn't even use 30% of their abilities. Zhuo Dade was almost poisoned to death. Master Pang was in the 3rd layer of Element Gathering tier. He was like an ant, completely negligible. Even though there were many of them, they were nothing more than a motley crew. They were far from being able to make up for the quality of the Qin family's top-notch experts. Therefore today was the day the Zhuo clan and the Zhuang clan died. Do you dare to kill me? I'm an elder of the Pill sect. Me sparing your lives is already a great favor. You bunch of bitches still dare to be rude to the old man? Master Pang pretended to be calm, but deep down, he was very scared. He took a few steps back. I don't even put the sect master of the Dan sect in my eyes, let alone you. Qin Hao walked up coldly. Shilong, don't you care about our past relationship? Back then, when we became sworn brothers at the Peach Garden, we drank wine and discussed heroes. How lofty was that? Zhuo Wentian begged. Old feelings? From the moment you wanted to destroy the Qin family, you've already tossed our old feelings into the basin. Qin Shilong raised his arm. As long as he gave the order, the Qin family would be like a pack of lions, instantly tearing their opponents to pieces. Maqiang, hurry up and beg your adoptive father for mercy. Zhuo Wentian placed his last hope on Zhuo Junchen and Zhuo Maqiang. Pay. Trash. Zhuo Junchen spat out a mouthful of saliva. The biggest mistake you've made in your life was to make young Master Qin Hao your enemy. Moreover, our surnames are no longer Zhuo, but Qin. Zhuo Maqiang and Qin Laosi stood side by side. They were both in the 6th layer of Element Gathering tier. Damn it! The old man wants to fight to the death with you. Come on! Zhuang Maoxian howled. Fight to the death? Sorry, the fish must die. The net will never break. Qin Shilong threw Zhuang Maoxian's words back at him. His raised arm fell heavily. Kill, kill. Qin Laosi and Zhuo Maqiang were the first to charge. Kill. Qin Laosan and Zhuo Junchen followed closely behind. Kill. The Qin family's guards were filled with fighting spirit. Kill. Even the old servants and maids picked up kitchen knives. Nearly 100 people charged together. The scene was quite spectacular. The Zhuo and Zhuang family's troops were so frightened that they kept retreating, their hearts filled with fear. Scoundrel! Our past debts are settled. The Blood Kirin pulled out a thin sword with a smile. After this battle, he had repaid Qin Hao's debt. No matter what you do, I will always be by your side. Xiao Han stood beside Qin Hao. Qin Hao's face was filled with relief. What more could a man ask for? This battle was going to end very soon. But suddenly, something unexpected happened and broke the stalemate. A wave of tyrannical origin Qi swept into the field and blasted the charging troops of the Qin clan flying backward. The origin Qi was incomparably turbulent. Qin Laosi and Zhuo Maqiang, who were the fastest, were hit hard and spat out mouthfuls of blood. The guards and servants were even worse. They were swaying left and right, their armor shattered, and several of their bones were broken. With just one move, he had defeated the entire Qin family's troops. One could imagine how powerful this person was. A bunch of ants. A voice filled with disdain rang out. This voice made Zhuo Wentian and Zhuang Maoxian, who were in danger, so emotional that they were about to cry. If the two of you didn't come, old man would have died. Aren't we here now? Two stalwart figures walked over from the end of the street, their auras powerful. Behind them was a group of brawny men. Every brawny man had a ferocious look on his face. Qin Hao was no stranger to them. They were Shi Haoqi and Ren Taizhu from Explosive Flame City. Qin Hao's expression changed. The person who had defeated Qin Laosi was the former leader of the Furious Bear mercenary group, Ren Taizhu. Ren Taizhu was an expert in the 8th tier of Yuan Gathering tier. He was 2 meters tall and extremely strong. Only Qi Daxiong could suppress him. Moreover, it seemed that Ren Taizhu's strength had increased. He had reached the 9th tier of Yuan Gathering tier. Little bastard, we meet again. Shi Haoqi's eyes turned red when he saw Qin Hao. Who are the two of you? The Qin family has no enmity with you. Why did you kill us? Qin Shilong's expression was grave. He could feel danger from Ren Taizhu. No enmity? I'm going to King kill you. Shi Haoqi was about to go crazy. Did killing his son count as enmity? Did taking his weapon count as enmity? Qin Hao had humiliated him. He had to kneel in front of Xiaogua and slap a child 3 times. What kind of enmity was this? That was not all. Shi Haoqi was afraid that Qi Daxiong would kill him one day if he was in a bad mood. Therefore, he had no choice but to leave Exploding Flame City with the Lupus mercenary group. They had suffered a lot. After asking around for a long time, they finally found out that Qin Hao's home was in Akita town. Without saying a word, he and Ren Taizhu led their men over. They had formed an alliance with the Zhuo and Zhuang families. As for Ren Taizhu's enmity with Qin Hao, it was needless to say. Qin Hao's attack had turned him from a high and mighty leader to a bachelor who had nothing. It had completely ruined Ren Taizhu's life. What kind of king enmity was this? And he said that he had no enmity with Qin Hao. Only by killing him and tearing out his tendons could he vent his anger. In fact, they had already arrived and watched the entire competition. They could not help but be surprised by Qin Hao's performance. He had actually defeated Zhuo Wentian and Zhuang Maoxian. Even the elders of the alchemy sect were no match for him. If it were not for the Lupus mercenary group and Ren Taizhu, perhaps Qin Hao could really defeat the Zhuo and Zhuang families. The reason why Shi Haoqi chose to show up now was that he was afraid that Qin Hao had some hidden trump card. Unfortunately, it seemed that this kid did not have any. Chapter 107. A hot war is imminent, grandfather, there's no need to waste words with them. These two are my enemies. Qin Hao took out his purple meteorite sword. The tip of the sword pointed to the ground, and his long black hair fluttered in the wind. The enemy of my grandson is the enemy of the entire Qin clan. Qin Shilong said no more. Only a battle. Roar. Let's fight for the Qin family. Let's fight for the young patriarch. The Qin family guards crawled up from the ground. Ignoring the blood at the corners of their mouths, they once again formed a tight formation. "You bunch of worthless wretches? Spit!" Sure Hauchi spat at him. "I've suffered a lot for today. For the sake of today, I did not hesitate to cut off my manhood to practice the Jade Lady Manual, and even advanced to the 7th layer of Element Gathering tier. For today, I didn't hesitate to sell all of my family's property and forge a large saber. Everything was prepared for you. I will first peel off your skin, then peel off your flesh. Finally, I will chew your bones bit by bit and swallow them. Qin Hao, you little bastard, I have given you a lot of thought." Sure Hauchi glared at Qin Hao. "I want you to kneel on the ground and slap yourself 300 times. As he spoke, Sure Hauchi drew the thick saber from his waist. This thick saber was also a high-grade sharp weapon, but it was obviously not as sharp as his previous Yama saber. "As for me? You made me lose everything, so I'll make you lose everything as well. Kill every single member of the Qin family. Leave no one alive." Rentaiju waved his hand. The group of desperados gathered behind him had ferocious looks on their faces as they cooperated with the Devil's Squad to surround the Qin family's guards. "How dare you!" Qin Hao took a step forward, and a green light enveloped his body. "Why not? I've already ordered another group of men to attack your Qin family's lair. Ha ha! I'm afraid that blood will flow like a river right now, and the ground will be littered with corpses." Rentaiju laughed without restraint. Qin Shilong and Qin Laoxi's faces changed. In order to participate in the annual meeting, they brought the strongest guards of the Qin residence. Now, only the weak elderly, women, and children were left in the house. How could he resist such a ruthless person? His ending was destined to be tragic. Qin Shilong couldn't help but shed tears. "I'll kill you!" Old Third Qin howled in pain. His son was still at home. "Third uncle, don't be rash." Qin Hao pulled him back in time. At this moment, a series of deafening sounds of fighting resounded from the direction of the Qin mansion. It was obvious that a fierce battle had broken out. The battle ended much faster than expected. In less than the time it took to brew a cup of tea, the sounds of battle vanished like smoke in thin air. The town once again became quiet, so quiet that it was frightening. It was as if everyone knew in their hearts that the Qin family was dead. "Ha ha! Well done, Black Dog. You're faster than I expected." Rentaiju was very satisfied. Although he had lost the Wild Bear mercenary group, he had recruited a group of desperados. Every outlaw was cruel and merciless. The Black Dog was in the 2nd layer of Element Gathering tier. Killing the elderly and children of the Qin family was a piece of cake. Rentaiju felt very lucky. Desperados were the only thing he could rely on. "You're that confident?" Qin Hao asked coldly. "My confidence comes from the awesomeness of my subordinates." Rentaiju was overjoyed. He had taken his revenge. In the next second it was Qin Hao's turn. "Young master, it's bad. A group of reckless bastards have come to the house. They're like mad dogs. But don't worry, they've all been stabbed to death by us." A loud shout came from afar. Everyone was startled. They saw an armored guard run over. He was covered in blood and had pockmarks on his face. He was obviously not Rin Tieju's subordinate. He was Qin Hao's personal guard, Wang Matsi. Behind pockmarked Wang, there were 5 other guards with strong auras. These 6 people had all taken Qin Hao's marrow cleansing pill and had all broken through to the 1st layer of Element Gathering tier. They were together almost every day and were good at cooperating. They also had a powerful joint attack technique. "Huh! What's going on?" Wang Matsi and the others came to Qin Hao's side. They were all stunned. It seemed that the young master and the grand ancestor were also in danger. "Don't worry, young master. We've eliminated all the enemies in the house. Only this bastard was especially fierce. 6th brother was even cut by him. Unfortunately, he was beaten to death by us in the end." Lu Laojian held a hideous human head in his hand and casually threw it on the ground. It rolled to Ren Tieju's feet. Ren Taiju looked down and his eyes widened. Black dog. The head's face was black and there was a scar on its forehead. It was the fugitive he had recruited. Moreover, it was the most powerful black dog. At this moment Ren Tieju's heart ached. Fugitives were hard to come by. They were the only thing he could rely on. Now they were all killed by Qin Hao's guards. This. I'm going to go blind. Sure, Haoqi was in disbelief. These 6 people are all in the first layer of element gathering tier. Zhuo Wentian could see the strength of Wang Matzi and the others at a glance. However, he was shocked. The Qin family was still hiding a trump card. I want all of you dead. Without burial, body of earth. Ren Taiju was so angry that his whole body was trembling. He gritted his teeth and spoke word by word. Kill! Qin Hao didn't need to say anything. He swung his sword and slashed forward. An unprecedentedly fierce battle unfolded. Pay with your life for my big dog. Ren Taiju raised his fist and punched towards Qin Hao. Your opponent is me. Qin Shilong's body was full of energy. He directly used the Qin family's secret technique, minute collapsing fist. At this moment, he was very confident. The Qin mansion was safe and sound, and there was no need to worry about the future. Qin Shilong even burst out with a fighting strength that was beyond his usual. He knew very well that only he, who was in the 8th layer of element gathering tier, could fight against Ren Taiju. However, he had no chance of winning. Little bastard, give me Yama's saber. Sure, Haoqi stared with bloodshot eyes and slashed towards Qin Hao's face. Brother Mo Chang, let's block him together. Qin Laosi shouted. He gathered energy in his palm and blocked Sure Haoqi's attack. At the same time, Zhuo Mo Chang hit Sure Haoqi's chest with mountain-splitting palm. The two of them cooperated seamlessly. However, it didn't cause any substantial damage to Sure Haoqi. It only pushed him back a few steps. Because Sure Haoqi was in the 7th layer of element gathering tier. On the other side, Qin Hao ordered the entire Qin family to mobilize. Qin Laosan led Wang Matzi and 6 other guards to fight the elders of the Lupus mercenary group. Xiao Han and Zhuang Bai fought. Zhuo Junchen attacked Zhuo Dade. Zhuo Dade and Zhuang Bai were strong, but they were poisoned by Qin Hao. They couldn't fight freely. For a moment, they were both suppressed by Xiao Han and Zhuo Junchen. The blood Qilin's body flashed and silently disappeared into the air. She was an assassin. Her specialty was assassination and sneak attacks. Her eyes were sharp, and she specifically targeted the leaders of the Lupus mercenary group and the Zhuo family. The experts were all facing off against each other, but these small leaders had a very strong killing power against the Qin family's guards. Therefore, they had to be eliminated. Wherever the blood Qilin went, there was a storm of blood. Countless people had their limbs chopped off or were killed by a single sword strike without anyone noticing. The sky was filled with the sounds of fighting. Everyone in the streets and alleys were fighting. Blood was smeared all over the walls. Chapter 108. Master Melon missed you so much. This battle was so intense that it caused the sky to dim and the earth to dim. The Qin family relied on their own strength to withstand the attacks of the Zhuo family, Zhuang family, and Lupus mercenaries. It could be said to be extremely tragic. You only have one chance to attack. Either you die or I die. Little bastard, hand over your life. Zhuo Wentian had poisonous blood flowing out of his mouth as he rushed towards Qin Hao with Zhuang Maoxian. Both of them hated Qin Hao to the core. Even Master Pang rushed over with a strange howl. Qin Hao used his water wind steps to move between the three of them, and Zhuo Wentian and the rest couldn't even touch the corner of his clothes. They were so angry that they clenched their teeth and couldn't even use 30% of their strength. However, Qin Hao did not have the ability to kill him. This Zhuowentian was in the 9th layer of Element Gathering Tier, while Zhuang Maoxian was in the 8th layer of Element Gathering Tier. Even if he only used 30% of his power, it was still not something that Qin Hao, who was merely in the 1st layer of Element Gathering Tier, could stand against. In fact, Master Pang had helped Qin Hao quite a bit. He had blocked Zhuowentian and Zhuang Maoxian's vision, flashing here and there while shouting, "Take out the antidote." The two of them were so angry that they almost vomited blood, but there was nothing they could do to Master Pang. Otherwise, Qin Hao's battle might be a little more difficult. However, as time passed, Zhuowentian and Zhuang Maoxian were obviously unable to hold on any longer. Their attacks were getting weaker and weaker, and the poison in their bodies was getting stronger and stronger. As long as Qin Hao didn't die, the two old things would be exhausted to death. The battle on the other side was not looking good. Qin Laosan, along with his 6 bodyguards, clashed with a large group of elders of the Lupus mercenary group. It was extremely dangerous. If it wasn't for the Blood Kirin's help, they would have all been wiped out. Old thing, you've lived for so long, but you're still quite stubborn. Open, Ren Taizhu roared as his fist smashed through Qin Shilong's defense and smashed into his chest. Qin Shilong spat out a fountain of blood and fell to the ground. He was only in the 8th layer of Element Gathering Tier, and he was already quite old. Ren Taizhu was a 2-meter tall muscular man in the 9th layer of Element Gathering Tier. Qin Shilong couldn't hold on any longer. "Godfather, be careful." Zhuomaqiang stepped forward without the slightest hesitation at the critical juncture. He was indebted to the Qin family. Just as Zhuo Junchen had said, a favor must be repaid. You can't even withstand a single blow. Get lost too. Ren Taizhu did not even spare him a glance. Someone in the 6th layer of Element Gathering Tier was nothing to him. He casually threw out a punch, and it landed on Zhuomaqiang's back. Everyone could hear the sound of bones shattering. In order to protect Qin Shilong, Zhuomaqiang was sent flying more than 5 meters away. After landing on the ground, he didn't get up again and directly fainted. Father, when Zhuo Junchen saw this, his eyes turned bloodshot. Brother Mo Chang. Qin Laosi had never thought that Zhuomaqiang would be so loyal and righteous. You dare to be distracted while fighting with me. Jade Girl Manual 3rd Style, Willow Leaf curved eyebrows turning back to smile. Sure Haoqi took the opportunity to break into a lewd smile. He swung his saber in front of Qin Laosi. Qin Laosi was shocked. This saber was not an ordinary saber, it was a high-grade sharp weapon. Without enough time to defend himself, this saber strike would definitely kill him. Clang! A ball of fire exploded in front of him. In that moment of crisis, Qin Hao rushed over in time. He pushed Qin Laosi aside and held the purple meteoric sword above his head. This saber strike caused Qin Hao's hand to crack. One of his legs involuntarily fell to the ground, his knee shattering the stone floor. The difference in strength between the two was too great. Sure Haoqi had reached the 7th layer of Element Gathering Tier. You dare come to seek death, you must be tired of living. Jade Girl Manual 4th Style, Jade Leg Stretch, Beautiful Buttocks. Sure Haoqi was going crazy with joy. Qin Hao had come to seek death of his own accord. He stuck out his buttocks and swung his leg like a wild donkey, wanting to activate the Jade Girl Manual and kick Qin Hao to death. But just as he raised his leg, a sharp, cold light suddenly flashed in the air, slashing straight at his thigh. Sneaky, get the hell out here for me. Jade Girl Grimoire, 5th Style, Lady smiles at the sky. Sure Haoqi did not panic. He swung the saber in his hand upwards, shaking off the Blood Kirin's attack. His left hand viciously slapped the air in front of him. Puff! The Blood Kirin was severely injured, and it was knocked out of the air. It was sent flying 7 or 8 meters away, unable to stop. I tried my best. The Blood Kirin had not been able to save Qin Hao from Sure Haoqi, and it did not want to give up. No one can save him today. Ha ha ha! Sure Hauchi was so happy that he raised his head and howled excitedly. But his howl was very strange. It sounded like a eunuch's howl. Let go of my grandson. If you want to kill me, kill me. Qin Shilong stood up, trembling. Blood had dyed his white beard red. Let go of my big brother. If you want to kill me, kill me. Qin Yu shouted. Let go of Qin Hao. If you want to kill me, kill me. Let go of my nephew. If you want to kill me, kill me. Let go of my young master. If you want to kill me, kill me. The Qin family's guards dropped their weapons. They were ready to die. Let go of Qin Hao. If you don't, I will kill you for the rest of my life. Xiao Han grabbed Zhuang Bai by the neck and walked into the arena. She had already taken down the poisoned Zhuang Bai. As she spoke, Xiao Han's eyes turned red. She tightened her grip on Zhuang Bai's neck until his face turned green. This is crazy. Do you want to die? Sure Hauchi was shocked. Everyone wanted to die for Qin Hao. How could Qin Hao deserve this? But then, something even more shocking happened. Let go of him. Old man. Antidote. Master Pang was so poisoned that he could not speak. He fell to the ground and tried to crawl toward Qin Hao. Even though his words were vague, everyone understood what he meant. He, too, did not wish for Qin Hao to die. What did you say? I can't hear you. Sure Hauchi had practiced the Jade Lady manual, so his hearing was bad. Antidote. Antidote, what is it? Antidote. Master Pang's voice stopped abruptly. His hand that was reaching toward Qin Hao fell to the ground. A corrosive and stinky yellow liquid instantly seeped out of his skin. Without the suppression of primordial qi, Master Pang's body was instantly swallowed by the poison and turned into a puddle of sulfuric acid. The pill sect elder, who was known for his superb alchemy skills, died in the end because of Qin Hao's poisonous pill. Damn it. Don't say it if you can't explain it. You're wasting my time. Sure Hauchi did not even look at him. He lowered his head and looked at Qin Hao with joy. You're still in my hands. Yes. I have some last words. Do you want to hear them? Qin Hao said expressionlessly. I'm in a good mood. I'll reluctantly listen. Do you want more yellow paper? Sure Hauchi asked. No. Sure Tainong told me in my dream yesterday. He said that I'm going to die today. He asked me to prepare paper money and a coffin for you. Qin Hao said calmly. You're courting death. Sure Hauchi was so angry that he almost went mad when Sure Tainong was mentioned. He also said that you're going to die in the hands of Xiaogua. And you. Qin Hao pointed at Ren Taiju. Uncle Qi Daxiong won't give you a second chance. Everyone in the Furious Bear mercenary group is ashamed of you. Bulsh *T. Kill him. The Furious Bear mercenary group was the pain in Ren Tieju's heart. Qi Daxiong was even more of a thorn in his heart. You're still so stubborn even when you're about to die. To tell you the truth, I'll go back to Exploding Flame City and kill Qi Daxiong and his son. I'll take his sumaru pouch and make him kneel on the ground. I'll slap him 300. No, 3,000. 30,000 times. The scene of him kneeling in front of Xiaogua was still vivid in his mind. Xiaogua was undoubtedly a shadow that he could not get rid of. Really? You want to snatch this young master's sumaru pouch, and you want me to give you 30,000 slaps. This melon grandpa really misses you to death. Chapter 109. Must Die. This voice was extremely amusing. However, when Sure Hauchi heard it, his body trembled violently. He felt as if a dark cloud had covered his head. The crowd turned their gazes toward the source of the voice. At the end of the street, a figure walked over. The figure was extremely majestic, taller than Ren Taiju by a fist. This person had a strong build, and there was a 12 or 13-year-old child riding on his neck. A child with a strong head and a strong brain was adorable. This majestic figure took a step forward and covered 3 meters. With 2 steps, he crossed half the street. With the 3rd step, he was already standing in front of Shirhauchi. Looking at this familiar figure, the pressure in Qin Hao's heart was finally relieved. Half a month ago, Qin Hao had sent a letter to the Exploding Flame City, ordering his servants to send it to the Exploding Flame City. Although Qin Hao had never seen the strange, strong man who suddenly appeared in the town a few days ago, he could recognize him by his aura. These were a group of mercenaries who licked blood from their blades. Almost instantly, he thought of the Explosive Flame City. Who in the Exploding Flame City had a grudge against Qin Hao? Of course, only Shirhauchi and Rentaiju were there. The annual meeting of the Qin family was just around the corner. Shirhauchi's men were obviously up to no good. Therefore, Qi Daxiong's arrival was not sudden. Qin Hao had been prepared for this. Big Bear. Rentieju's expression finally changed drastically. A sense of fear involuntarily emerged from the bottom of his heart, and he shuddered. Chop. I'll watch you chop. Qi Daxiong stood beside Qin Hao with a cold face and ordered Shirhauchi to keep pressing the knife down. Boss. Boss Qi bang. Before Shirhauchi could finish his words, Qi Daxiong kicked him in the face. Shirhauchi was sent flying like a cannonball. He went through the wall and crashed through 3 houses and 2 restaurants with a series of explosions. The momentum of this kick was extremely terrifying. Shirhauchi didn't even have time to cry out in pain. He ran back like a dog with blood in his mouth and kneeled heavily in front of Qi Daxiong. He deeply understood that a martial artist in the 7th layer of element gathering tier would not even have the slightest chance of escaping from Qi Daxiong. Qi Daxiong was a master yuan. The gap was huge. If he ran, he would die even more miserably. I shouldn't have come to Akita town to cause trouble. I shouldn't have provoked Qin Hao, and I shouldn't have touched his family. Boss Qi let me go. In fact, it was all because I was bewitched by Rentaiju and was blinded by hatred. Rentaiju forced me to do this. Just treat me like a big black fart and let me go. Shirhauchi. You. Rentaiju didn't expect Shirhauchi to bite back. In fact, it was the other party who found out that Qin Hao's home was in Akita town. It was also Shirhauchi who instigated Rentaiju to take revenge. You hurt my big brother? When Xiaogua saw the scar on Qin Hao's shoulder, his eyes immediately turned red. The wound was caused by Shirhauchi's knife. Misunderstanding. It's all a misunderstanding. I'll slap myself 3 times, no, 300 times, and then scram away. Shirhauchi was so scared that he almost peed his pants. Without needing anyone's orders, he slapped his own face viciously. His slaps were so vicious that blood even flowed out. This scene simply shocked everyone so much that their jaws dropped. Shirhauchi, who was so aggressive just a moment ago, became so timid in front of this strong man who suddenly appeared. He was so fierce just now that he had practiced the Jade Girl manual. Qin Shilong was the only one who recognized him. This strong man was probably the hero that Qin Hao had befriended in Exploding Flame City. I'm Qin Shilong. Thank you for saving me, Hero Qi. Qin Shilong said gratefully. Uncle Qin, you don't have to be so courteous. Qin Hao is my son's sworn brother, so he's half my son. The Qin family's business is Qi Daxiong's business. Moreover, he saved my son's life and mine. Little Gua is indebted to him. If I don't kill all of these bastards today, I won't have the face to return to Exploding Flame City. Qi Daxiong was furious. Messing with Qin Hao was like messing with Xiaogua. It was like stepping on Qi Daxiong's head and taking a shit. He turned to Rentaiju and said, "Are you done? It's time to settle the score." I said, "I'll kill you if I see you again." "Kill him if you want. It has nothing to do with me. My mom is calling me for dinner." Shirhauchi's face was bloody after he slapped himself. His skin was peeling off. He turned around and walked away. You still want to run? Xiaogua jumped down from Qi Daxiong's shoulder and stood in front of Shihaoqi, blocking his way. Suddenly, he saw a knife in Shihaoqi's hand. Hey, this is not bad. Then, he rushed up and snatched the knife. Give it to me. No, the scene from the past repeated itself. It was as if his wife was snatched away again. Shihaoqi wanted to cry but had no tears. Big brother, here. Xiaogua handed the knife to Qin Hao with a smile. He still remembered his big brother's hobby of collecting weapons. Qin Hao smiled. His smile was a little tired. Daxiong, I didn't expect to see you again. I also didn't expect you to come all the way from Exploding Flame City to Akita Town for a little B****. Unfortunately, you can't touch me or kill me because I'm also a Yuan master. Ren Taizhu roared. Suddenly, his body emitted a surging light. The light turned from blue to green. Do you think I don't have a trump card? Back then, you coldly drove me out of the Furious Bear mercenary group and the home I worked so hard to build. The heavens have eyes, allowing me to encounter a fortuitous encounter and obtain a medicinal pill. This pill helped me reach the Yuan Master level. Now, I'm not worse than you. What can you do to me? Ren Tiezhu's body shook. The green light on his body became stronger. This caused everyone to be extremely shocked. Even Shihaoqi didn't expect Ren Taizhu to have a trump card. In fact, when the two of them went to Exploding Flame Mountain to search for treasures, they found a cave. Shihaoqi was overjoyed when he found a Jade Girl manual in the cave. Ren Taizhu, on the other hand, found a primordial pill. However, he didn't say anything. He quietly took the pill and broke through to the Yuan Master level. That's quite surprising. Qi Daxiong snorted. He wasn't surprised. You broke through to the Yuan Master level? You should have said so earlier. You made me lose another upper refined weapon. Shihaoqi was pleased with himself. He even glared at Xiaogua. His chance to be proud had come. Get lost. Ren Taizhu roared like thunder. His roar landed on Shihaoqi's body. Puff. Shihaoqi was caught off guard. He spat out a mouthful of blood and knelt on the ground weakly. You two-faced bastard. If you weren't useful, I would have killed you. Ren Taizhu disdained Shihaoqi's behavior. Boss Ren, I was wrong. From now on, I, Shihaoqi, am your dog. The entire Lupus mercenary group is your dog. No, the Lupus mercenary group doesn't exist anymore. We're called the Iron Pillar Gang. We'll bite whoever you ask us to. If you think that's not enough, I can offer you my chrysanthemum to relieve your boredom. In order to survive, Shihaoqi was willing to be shameless. He had cultivated the Jade Girl manual, so he was a little perverted. Many of the Lupus mercenary group members were disappointed. Shihaoqi was selling them to Ren Taizhu like dogs. Some of them chose to leave Akita Town quietly. Every man had dignity. Chapter 110. What a man! I'm not interested in you. Ren Taizhu felt nauseous. If you can fight, then don't make a fuss. Today, this Lupus mercenary group. I want to kill them. Kill Shihaoqi too. You shall be killed as well. Qi Daxiong mobilized his primordial qi, and a layer of light rose from his body. The light was also green. You're so arrogant. How dare you look down on me? Do you want both of us to suffer? Ren Tiezhu's dignity was challenged. He was now Master Yuan. Qi Daxiong should be polite to him, and he must be very polite. Both sides are injured? You are not qualified. After he finished speaking, Qi Daxiong's fists had a whirlpool-like power, and his aura started to increase drastically. Good, good, good. Today, we'll settle our old and new grudges together. After killing you, I'll crush the neck of your bastard son. Finally, I'll return to the Wild Bear mercenary group and kill all those who disobey. When two tigers fight, one must die. There was only one winner. Ren Taiju let out a thunderous roar. His fist was wrapped in a turbulent green glow, and he punched towards Qi Daxiong's face. Raging Fist. This punch was a low-level, profound-level Yuan skill. This punch would wash away his humiliation. This punch would definitely stun Qi Daxiong. Ren Taiju wanted to prove to everyone that his strength was not below Qi Daxiong's. Everything that Qi Daxiong could enjoy, he could completely replace it. 7 injuring fists. The whirlpool on Qi Daxiong's fist exploded violently, forming 7 different types of gas. Sometimes it was firm and fierce, sometimes it was soft and gentle, sometimes it was horizontal, sometimes it was straight, sometimes it was inward. This was a mid-grade mystic-level Yuan skill. It was also the strongest Yuan skill that Qin Hao had seen on others after his rebirth. At first glance, Qin Hao could tell that the 7 streams of power coming from Qi Daxiong's fists contained the power of yin and yang, as well as the 5 elements of metal, wood, water, fire, and earth. The so-called 7 injuries referred to these 7 types of injuries. Once it hit a person, it would cause fatal internal injuries, and there was absolutely no cure. Not only is your cultivation technique weaker than mine, even your cultivation realm is lower than mine. What right do you have to boast shamelessly? Open up! Qi Daxiong shouted again. The green light enveloping his body became even more turbulent and dazzling, immediately suppressing Ren Tieju's imposing manner. 2-star Yuan Master. No, Ren Tieju's eyes were filled with fear, but he couldn't stop walking. Qi Daxiong's advancement from a 1-star Yuan Master to a 2-star Yuan Master was beyond his expectations. Pung! The 2 fists collided heavily. With the first punch, Qi Daxiong directly disintegrated Ren Tieju's raging fist. The second punch landed on his chest. The third punch landed on his abdomen, bang bang bang. Qi Daxiong's fists were like shadows as he waved his fists wildly. Ren Taiju was like a falling leaf in the wind, unable to resist at all. The 7 streams of energy also entered Ren Tieju's body. The surrounding people were all dumbfounded. It was too brutal, too ferocious. The 2 big guys were extremely ruthless characters. I've said it before, the next time we meet, you'll die. Qi Daxiong stood with his hands clasped behind his back after finishing the fists of 7 damages. Puff! Ren Taiju spat out a mouthful of thick blood, as if he wanted to vomit out all the blood in his body. Ren Taiju finally couldn't take it anymore and fell at Qi Daxiong's feet in tatters. He didn't even have time to say his last words before he died. However, everyone understood the look in his eyes. I won't accept this. Boss Qi. I sure Haochi am now your dog. Everyone in the Lupus mercenary group is your dog. We'll bite whoever you want us to. If you don't mind, I can also open my chrysanthemum for you. Sure Haochi knelt in front of Qi Daxiong, pale with fright. Ren Taiju was too weak. He couldn't even take 7 punches after breaking through to the Yuan Master level. You dog. My father doesn't care about you. Xiaogua spoke on behalf of Qi Daxiong. His eyes turned cold as he swung his small fist and smashed it on Sure Haochi's head. This seemingly tender little fist actually carried an unparalleled force of 10,000 caddies. Pung! Sure Haochi's head exploded. He had clearly prepared his defense. He was in the 7th tier of Yuan Gathering tier. Why couldn't he block this weak fist? With all these questions, Sure Haochi died in front of everyone's eyes. He was killed by a 12 or 13-year-old kid with 1 punch. 9th tier of Yuan Gathering tier. Qin Hao was extremely shocked. They hadn't seen each other for many days, and Xiaogua had reached such a terrifying level. You're indeed my boss. I've said that once the seal on the Herculean bull demon body is broken, even I would be scared. Although the seal hasn't been completely broken, my power has indeed reached the peak of Yuan Gathering tier. Now I'm finally a man for once. Ha ha! I'm so cool. Xiaogua imitated Qin Hao and brushed his hair with his fingers. A charming smile appeared on his face. However, he still felt that he wasn't handsome enough. Maybe it's because I'm too short. Dear, I'm still growing. However, this undoubtedly proved what Tsyogwa's master had said. Once the seal was broken, no one in Yuan Gathering Tier would be a match for Tsyogwa. Moreover, the seal hadn't been completely broken. Like father, like son, the #1 master of Exploding Flame City lives up to his name. Admirable and admirable. The town elder led a group of old guys and stood far away, pointing at Qi Daxiong. They were really scared just now. When Ren Taiju and Shi Haoqi were killing everywhere, the Qin family was almost doomed. Who would have thought that Qin Hao would save the #1 master of Exploding Flame City and become sworn brothers with Qi Daxiong's son? His future was limitless. He would soar to the sky. The old guys looked at Qin Hao with flattery in their eyes. Haha! Wonderful, it's really wonderful. The old man is really a feast for our eyes. We've watched a great show. All of a sudden, a sneer was heard. A figure suddenly appeared in the air in front of everyone. It was a tall and thin old man. His eyes were cold, and he had a fake smile on his face. Obviously, he didn't come with good intentions. If the sect leader didn't order us to come here personally, I'm afraid we would have missed such a great show. The boy from the Qin family is really capable. He's a good seedling worth cultivating. Old man can't bear to kill him. Then, another voice was heard. A fat old man appeared next to the tall and thin old man. Of all the things he shouldn't have done, he shouldn't have killed my lackey. This little bastard Qin Hao must die. Not only that, I want his entire family to be buried with him. Another voice was heard, carrying with it a thunderous anger. Beside the tall and thin old man and the fat old man, another strong old man appeared out of thin air. The strong old man looked at Qin Hao with murderous eyes and pointed at the pool of yellow water on the ground. The yellow water was formed by Master Pang's body. It was obvious that Master Pang was the strong old man's man. Qin Hao had poisoned Master Pang to death. Who are the three of you? Qi Daxiong couldn't help but feel a chill run down his spine. The three old men looked weak, but they contained a powerful aura. The aura made Qi Daxiong's heart turn cold. He even felt that he was no match for any of the three old men. He wouldn't be able to block even one of their attacks. The core elders of the Dan sect are here to do something. Get lost. The strong old man casually swept out a wave of primordial qi and hit Qi Daxiong. Qi Daxiong felt that his body was about to be torn apart. He flew out like a kite with a broken string and crashed into the ground in the distance. It was unknown whether he was dead or alive. One attack. He defeated the #1 expert in Explosive Flame City. Chapter 111. You Don't Deserve It. This scene was extremely shocking. Old Third Qin's eyes were wide open, his mouth was wide open, but he couldn't say a word. His face was dripping with cold sweat. He killed a 2-star Yuan master in one move. The Qin family is going to be wiped out this time. Even Daluo immortals can't save him. In the distance, the old mayor was so scared that he screamed. He was simply covering his head and running away like a rat. Everyone was stunned on the spot, unable to calm down for a long time. Snowflakes began to fall from the sky. It was bone-chilling. Father Tsyogwa let out an earth-shattering cry. His invincible father had been beaten to the point where it was unknown whether he was dead or alive. Tsyogwa's eyes were bloodshot. Don't be rash. Qin Hao grabbed Tsyogwa's arm tightly. The enemy's strength was unimaginable. As soon as the strong old man attacked, Qin Hao judged his strength. 3-star Yuan master. Furthermore, he was the weakest of the three. Why? Qin Hao asked coldly. It wasn't surprising that Master Pang would go against the Qin family. After all, Qin Hao had chopped off Wang Gudan's arms. However, the Dan sect would never send 3 core elders for such a trivial matter. To put it bluntly, the small Qin family was not qualified. You still dare to ask why? Do you know what kind of heinous crime you have committed? Do you know how furious our sect leader was at this crime? Even if the Qin family were to die tens of thousands of times, or even hundreds of thousands of times, it still wouldn't be enough to make up for the losses you've caused to our Dan sect. The fat elder lectured. You brat, you're really capable. Even old man can't dissolve your Luoyang liquid. What kind of cheap damn thing did you add? All you need to know now is that the pill sect's minor origin pill market has been completely swallowed by you. A trace of shame flashed across the tall and skinny elder's face. He was unable to analyze the ingredients of the Luoyang liquid. This was a trampling on his dignity, and the anger on his face was self-evident. Qin Hao smiled bitterly to himself. Sure enough, it was the Luoyang liquid that caused this disaster. Qin Laosi had opened up the Heaven's Wall City's market, and the Luoyang liquid was in short supply. Every time it would be sold out. It must have touched the grassroots interests of the Dan sect. The pill sect specialized in selling pills. The ingredients for Luoyang liquid were extremely simple, and the price was quite fair and low. Even if the pill sect could refine a better pill than the 6-fine liquid, the price was too high. It was simply not worth it. Therefore, the grassroots market was slowly being eaten away by the Luoyang liquid. The Dan sect's minor origin pills could not be sold, cutting off one of their economic lifelines. The sect master ordered us to thoroughly investigate this matter. As a result, we saw a series of good methods from you. Even the old man couldn't help but admire you. It's a pity that you're an enemy of our Dan sect. I also have the idea of accepting this boy as my disciple cannot be forgiven. Moreover, the tall and skinny elder sighed regretfully. I'm 80% sure that he has